So again, I have no clue what to expect. This is just another one that I've heard a lot of good things about. And we have 3 character choices right away. Default to Saturn, which faction, Celestial Mechanics, self-ship String of Pearls. Celestial Mechanics reserve test pilot. Celestial Mechanics want to advise humanity to its next stage. And Saturn wants to flirt, but there's no reason we can't do both. Combat style, button mashing. Bedroom style, button mashing. We have Pluto, faction, Cradle's Graces, self-ship Chronmacula. Cradle's Graces, ultimate weapon pilot. Even if Earth has given up on new life, for humanity in space, Cradle's Graces has it. And Pluto will make that dream come true. Likes, succulents, good girls, crushing, both kinds. Everyone. Dislikes, is trying very hard not to have any. And Luna Terra, faction, Memorial Foundation, self-ship, Mirror Crisium. Memorial Foundation ace pilot, fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth before it's too late. Good at sniping, espionage, double-crossing, ghosting. Bad at loving herself, everything else. So if anyone has any preference, let me know real quick. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to stick with the default that it stuck me on with Saturn. Because I have no strong preferences. And Saturn just seems like a fine choice. Button mashing is always an acceptable form of handling things. All right. Not seeing anyone say anything. So we are just gonna jump in with Saturn. Hope the sound is not too loud. That is louder than the music was. If the sound is too loud, let me know. I can adjust it. Welcome, Provisional Test Pirate Saturn. Your clearance level is 1. Testing and maintenance. Warning, potential damage to cockpit hardware detected. Warning, modifying or tampering with cockpit hardware and or firmware is strictly prohibited. Mercury. Saturn, what are you doing? Notice, bypass override accepted. Notice, launch attempt blocked. No handshake with base. Saturn. Oh, hey Mercury. Not much. Warning, launch attempt blocked. Base handshake spoof detected. Saturn. Just hacking the OS root of this ship self. You? Notice, base handshake. 2-4. Notice, base handshake accepted. Mercury. Trying to stop some brat from hijacking the prototype, apparently. Notice, emergency launch override initiated. Prepare for launch in T-minus 120 seconds. Saturn, calm down, Mercury. I'm just borrowing it. Mercury, I'm not debating. I'm trying to save your life. The commander will be furious, and he won't just accept you stealing the Cornerstone project from the designated pilot. Saturn, it's not a big deal. I'll have it back before you know it. Mercury, this is privileged information, but the designated pilot has to launch right this second to get that machine back to Earth before they get here. This is the worst possible time. It couldn't be worse if you planned it. Mercury, everyone in the system suddenly somehow knows this base's location. They're heading here now? Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base. Oh. Wow, weird. How did that happen? Notice, user launch override blocked. Denied by base. User launch override blocked. Denied by base. Mercury, you planned it, didn't you? Saturn, you forgot an apostrophe. Base override. Remote shutdown in 30 seconds. No one can prove anything, especially not the designated pilot, unconscious in Locker 27. Whoops. Looks like they're trying to kick me out, huh? Mercury. Saturn, I know you're mad, but you can't do this. When they catch you, it's gonna be so bad. Can you just please act like you're just pranking them? There's still time. I will beg them. Oh, such a worrywart. You've got hours to evacuate to the capital ship. He'll never engage you this far from base, and he'll be distracting them. I have it all figured out. Mercury, except for how you're going to do anything at all to accomplish that with everyone trying to kill you. Base override. Remote shutdown in 20 seconds. Saturn. Try to have a little faith. Notice, base override. Remote shutdown in 15 seconds. Saturn. Calm down. Jeez, it doesn't take a genius to drive one of these things to the moon. Who cares which one of us does it? Or do you think I can't? Base override. Remote shutdown in 10 seconds. That is not the issue. The commander cares, and you know better than anyone what he's like. Base override. Remote shutdown in 9 seconds. We'll just have to get used to it. LOL. Base override. Remote shutdown in 8 seconds. Saturn, what are you trying to prove? Base override. Remote shutdown in 7 seconds. 6 seconds. So much, Mercury. 5 seconds. But give me a little credit. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. I have much higher ambitions than just being a bitch. If sequence missing. Base override canceled. I almost got worried for a sec. LL. Welcome, aside pilot. Full permissions granted. Mercury. Saturn, I'm not going to die, or I'm going to die, and it will be your fault. Oh, come on. Get this to the moon safe and sound. And I'll let the Severance project be complete. It'll be very good, maybe, and I'll do everything I'm supposed to. Maybe. No, I'm the second choice. They'd rather have that nothing, right? Very generous of me, isn't it? They will not accept that. They'll sort of have to, though, won't they? If Command didn't want me to steal one, they shouldn't have benched me indefinitely. Emergency launch initiated. Let me know when he starts emitting it. Hostile launch. Catapult locks on. High risk of damage to your stealth ship. Jeez, now they're just being needy. Mercury, isn't it just the worst when someone who doesn't care anymore starts clinging you just because you found someone new? Prepping weapon stations. Exotoxin levels surging. Weapons operational. So gross. Emergency launch initiated. I can't believe I really did it. I really did it. Everyone said if I was good, I'd get my chance again. Sure was a liar. I got away, and I've got a ship, and she'll be all mine. You're beautiful, and I want to know everything about you. I miss this so much. Much better than the test machines when I was in the academy. She's beautiful. She's a wicked machine with lots of secrets. Just as giddy as her pilot to be free. She's explainingly responsive, eager to do everything Saturn wants. You're even worth reading the manual for. What's in you? You're not hiding anything from me, are you? Saturn already knows everything in the manual, and more. It's a very cagey document that doesn't do the ship justice, and is certainly hiding something. There's plenty of information on how to use her electromagnetic poisons and how to cheat distance and gravity, and all of what is fun. And none of that tells her the first thing about how to be a ship. This is useless. How can this help diagnose anything when they don't know the first thing about being a ship? So wrong, way too dry. That's not what it's like at all. It's a body that's also a soul. It means exactly what it is. That's why it's small, curved and wicked edges in some places, but curved in some soft toys elsewhere. Sharp claws and a deadly tail, but cute enough to hug. So perfectly suited for Saturn, one who has to understand exactly why they wouldn't give it to her. Really perfect. Fits better than a human body. That's reason enough to disobey everyone and run off with it, isn't it? Well, speaking of, any more threatening emails from you, Paces? Missing me already? I gave him a perfectly good deal. For someone who always goes on about mutually beneficial agreements, he's really having trouble seeing the big picture. And the time it takes him to realize that, I'm sure I can find something fun to do in the system. Time to test you out and see if it's really true. Can you give me everything I want, down to the last drop? It's January 1st, 1980, and the long and cold war where humanity united against this nemesis and existential threat and beyond the stars has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an extraterrestrial threat, and we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and it's powerless against the technology of Earth. That is pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? There's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of decommissioning the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare, there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. The Return Resolution Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without the gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools held out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. Our ship selves were made to fight the Cold War. We made tidal resonators to bring gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world, free from the weight of Earth. If the Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our cradle's graces, but we're not coming back. Independence Declaration, Cradle's Graces. It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the extraterrestrial threat posed by the divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat, and when they do, they'll send real weapons, end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship-self string of pearls we've made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where the Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be placed there. Earth or space, we're just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. International Report, Celestial Mechanics. Day 1. Alright, what do we have going on here? Saturn's return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Delphinus Sliad, Saturn lies in wait for a looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. What were they after? Will they get it? Joyride, Killjoy. Weaving in and out of the six planets' rings, Memorial Foundation's ace, Lunaterra, plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief Saturn. So we have mails on alert, mission sect, comms, dialogue, alignment, and system, I assume, is our, personal system stuff. Yep. So this looks like we have some sort of alignment system for who we're supporting. Data log, looks like we have a complete history of what we've been going through, which is always nice to be able to go back to that. Comms. Don't talk to me. You literally messaged me first, you nerd. OMG. Harpy. Come on, baby. I'm sorry. What can I do to make it up to you? Give back the ship. Come on, I'm obviously not doing that. Please, I'm begging you, listen to reason. You have so much left to live for. Oh, Mercury, come on, we both know that's not true. What do you want from me? A list of girls who will shoot me out of orbit. God. Anyways, don't be a crybaby. I'm fine. Saturn, you're extremely wrong if you think there's a chance I'm at all worried about you. If you come back, all will be forgiven. But you need to bring it back. Mercury, it's fun playing, but I don't think you've been listening at all. Mercury, it's not that ship anymore, it's me. Mercury, you wouldn't ask me to give up my own self, would you? I'm sailing a ship of myself now, and I'm not giving it up until gravity drags me back, kicking and screaming. I can't deal with you. Aw, thank you. Kiss, kiss. You're a nightmare. I'm going to give up just trying to save you from yourself. I love you! I hate you so much. You can't stay mad at me. Can't, and it's horrible. My revenge will come because literally everyone else in the universe can. Oh, darn. Guess I should have fun while it lasts. Saturn, if you defect, I cannot protect you. Optimus is furious and he's going to come personally for you if you don't come back. I told you I'd do all the missions. What, you don't believe me? Obviously not. Fair. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think I'd give up on the evasion project? Go on. Optimus wanted us to fight for a new self beyond ship self, but not even get a taste until the end? Fuck that. My house now. Tell me, which of the two of us you trust less, Mercury? Subject, your apparent promotion. Origin, Celestial Mechanics Division Lead. Author, Lapidus. Good job, Saturn. There's no point in being angry with you, so I'll choose to be proud with you instead. I'll refrain from having you sunk, since the counterproductive to your intentions for that unit. You were a reserve candidate after all, so you'll do fine. Try not to make it too much of a pain in the ass for me. Have Mercury reassigned to you since he apparently doesn't have a say in the matter. How nostalgic. The two of you at least had so much potential. Well, he knows how to do his job at least. Do your best not to get the string of pearls sunk. We absolutely wash out the biological interference and reassign you permanently if we get that chance. So prove you're competent enough that neither of us have wasted our time. Epidus, Division Lead, Celestial Mechanics. Subject. Truce ending effective immediately. Origin, Native Sphere Mass Communication. Author, Memorial Foundation, Existential Safety. To all members of the former Memorial Foundation, Native Sphere Research, now known as Celestial Mechanics, this message serves as a formal acknowledgement that this branch has violated our trust and broken the provisions of the 1981 Memorial Foundation consensus by violating Clause 3, the development of a variable gravity engine, and Clause 7, installation of a variable gravity engine in the self-storage of pearls. Celestial Mechanics will no longer be listed as part of Memorial Foundation. They will formally be re-enlisted as an independent entity considered as a true existential threat by the Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. We are still offering forgiveness, so please defect as soon as possible while we appeal the grace period is still in effect. Please otherwise expect title retaliation for existential endangerment of human culture. Halimede Princess, Memorial Foundation, Native Sphere Existential Safety. And hello, Cybernetic Susurrus? Nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well today. I am guessing that you've played this one before, since you are having a reaction to the name Halimede. This is my first time going through it. I apologize in advance if I butcher any names, as I will probably do that. Reading through everything is tricky on the fly, especially the first time, but I'll do my best. All right, on to mission select. I was leaving it up to chat, but it defaulted to Saturn, so I figured Saturn would be a fun one, and button mashing fits my personality decently well, so I figured, why not? So let's go with the top one. I'm enjoying reading her parts so far. But as I said, I have a bit of a gremlin personality at times that will come out, so it seems fitting. Though I will probably never get used to trying to narrate text-speech shorthand. What do you mean I can feel her presence? Please do not try to sound that cool. I can feel her presence. Everyone can feel her presence. I can feel it right now. How can you even possibly ignore something like that? Shut up. I mean, I can feel it physically. Oh. Yeah, I was hoping I had the game audio down enough. Probably should turn it down a little bit more. Music is pretty loud in my head. So we'll go back a little bit more. Is that better? Let me know if it needs a little bit more adjustment. Oh. Wait. What? Like, how? Like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like, it's spinning upside down and I can't stop. Are you sure you haven't confused yourself or given yourself gravity sickness from all the damage you've managed to inflict on yourself in the past 12 hours? Yes. On top of that, also, shut up. String of Pearls is feeding my sensory information on the direct line. I'm a human being with 5 senses, and she's trying to cram a dozen more into me. My direct line. You're in fact talking about extremely creepy physical interference connection between you and the String of Pearls, correct? It really, really is, right? It's truly incredible how we agree about everything and still feel the exact opposite about it. Is this why you keep hesitating before giving me intel? Yes, because you're going to do the opposite of what you should do with it. And also, I can't not tell you, because you might die, so running support for you is an incredibly anxiety-inducing affair. It must be hard. Thank you for acknowledging it. So you're gonna tell me what's after me? You've already figured it out, haven't you? But yes, it's Cradle Grace's masterwork. Celestial mechanics traded the knowledge for how to finish the String of Pearls in exchange for what they needed to finish the Chronomachia. It would be pretty funny if they got us this way in the end. It's headed directly to the lab. We've already evacuated the capital ship, but you're the highest priority. Should I play bait? If anything, it's more important for you to get back to the native sphere first. In order for us to make contact, you need the String of Pearls. We believe if you hide in the abandoned Delphinus lab, you can use the decaying gravity furnace for cover. Ah, that's sensible. It sounds like a lot more fun, you know. Really? Come on! Happiness must think their pilot's a real idiot if she's going to waste her time on a wild goose chase like that. I wouldn't just sacrifice you like that. He would. There must be backups for making contact. Just because I'm the easiest option doesn't mean I'm the only one. He's testing to see if I'm worth investing in or just going to get myself killed. Why run? Why not just have it out with her? I was just thinking the same thing. Be careful, Saturn. If you can tell what they're thinking, they can probably tell what you're thinking. Please. I could really do something like that. They wouldn't have kicked me out of the pilots. Then how do you know the pilot's a she? Because boys can't pilot. Deafness, the tiny sphered moon, so small it barely earns the name, trembles in the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of the Earth's decommissioned space program, training grounds of failures like Saturn, and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait, Pluto remembers that way. Saturn remembers when it used to feel so special to be chosen, candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating. Distances are becoming ambiguous, between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto. That's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. There's much bigger worm here. She doesn't know anymore if it was a good idea. What was a good idea? Saturn doesn't have any ideas. She's just trying to hide, even though there's no place where you can not be felt by me. Alert! Tidal resonance if confirms enemy. Warning, gravitational hazard. Danger. Pressure exceeding safe range. I know, it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive, small enough to hide in this complex, with a dual resonator disc and the entire moon compressed into the head of a pin. Our girl, Saturn, felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and powerful that the interior of her cockpit creaked with the pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool. She must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. But I have the feeling someone's laughing at me. No one's laughing at Saturn. Perhaps been in Baden for years. Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, it would be really funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey, I know someone's here. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. Narrow escape. Outcome favors Celestial. Mutually screwed disruption. Outcome fails Graces. Well, narrow escape's probably the safer option, but Saturn feels like the type of person that is going to go for the mutually assured destruction, so why don't we just lead into that? It's easiest to catch someone if you don't care about getting caught yourself. Besides, if you want to drive someone wild, you gotta show them that you're worth catching. And that you're good enough to catch them too. The lab is dark, the fixing lights cast an airy glow, dying culture without gravity to hold it together. She can hear the faint laughter rippling in the gravity. And where it's coming from. When you don't know the controls, mashing all the buttons at once is just as good. Gotcha! It's a hit. Her claws sink in. They tremble in the pressure. Whatever they sunk into is bigger than its belief. Crown Macula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the complex. But it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Supermassive enough to warp local space-time, humming and vibrating with nebula dust, incredibly gentler, she would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. Oh wow, you got me! No matter what size it appears, in the truest, most real sense of the size, the ship will be bigger than this moon, and anything Saturn can imagine. The string of pearls quickly flirts away, but Crown Macula's grip on her is before she can twitch. And I've got you, Saturn. It really was surprised to see you like this. Cool, right? I've got poison now, too. You want to see if you're still the top weirdo psychic mutant in space? Oh, wow. Sounds really cool. I don't know if you're ready yet. Want to bet? Sure. The string of pearls screeches and buckles on the dust ignites, and a tiny portion of Pluto's tidal forces slam into her. Warning, gravity hazard. Had enough? You kidding? Okay, we can turn it up. Whew. That sure is insane. It feels like my brain is melting into the universe. Yeah, it definitely feels like Pluto is just playing with Saturn right now. You're the one that wanted to show off. You don't have to do that to endear yourself to me. But if you really want to impress me, you're gonna have to do better than that. Yeah, well, really not impressed even by this? By what? Oh, that does sting. It spreads like a poison, even through metal. It jumps like electricity, but drips like a liquid, pink and impossible, and spreading quickly through the Crown Macula's body. Oh, so you're not full of risky bad ideas. It makes me happy. I won't shut you down too hard. Okay, you win. You gonna be good now? Okay. So, what did you want to talk about? As Cradle Grace's glistening psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. The man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they? You don't mind falling for this trap. Trap? You silly? You know you're more important than that. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet? Knew this would be fun, and you knew it too. I'm absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it. I can't read minds, you know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl. If you really remember me, you remember I wasn't ever good. I do remember you. You're not that good at being bad. Do you know what you're doing? With that machine that's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does? I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to. Hey, stop, don't pry into me. You're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of this come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all. I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant, I can't bear it. Or bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. I might still make you regret it. Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either. Are you sure about that? You're not who I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now? Don't worry. There's nothing you can do to make me regret. Alright, the single choice has moved our alignment up to 25% on this one. We have a new comms. Mercury, listen, it's an emergency. I'm sorry about everything, but it's important. You have to tell Commander that I'm getting so late. I'm logging off. Bye. I was not fooled even for a second that this would be useful. Really? Not even for a second? I no longer experience hope as a concept. You freed me from it. Oh, stop. I'm blushing. What do you want from me, Saturn? Do you have any discreet places to make out on Earth? Goodbye, Saturn. Also, here's the test output to date. Saturn, goodbye. Aren't you going to read the data analysis? If it is indeed data, and you're not sending this time and not just nudes, that's rude. I always ask before I send them to you. I don't mind acting as the official art director of Saturn's nudes, since you need it so badly and it's substantially less tedious than data analysis. But if you were punctual about sending data as cockpit selfies, I would have a lot more data to report. Why are you so incredulous all the time? You stole the prototype, might I remind you. You can't continue the field testing as if nothing happened. Why not? Because why would anything you didn't want to do? Why would you do anything you didn't want to do? What are you planning? Fine. They've been dying for it anyway. Cool. How'd I do? This is not bad. It's pretty useful. He typed through the tears. Don't rub it in. I can't believe your ship self's expanded so much already. What are you doing with it? I think I have been hinting very clearly how. I instantly regret this question. You're supposed to test the prototype in combat. Same difference. Can't believe we invented a ship designed to get into trouble and didn't think, oh, Saturn is the obvious choice for this. We both know why. You were an even more obvious choice than me. Fuck Galapagos for throwing us both out like trash. Come on, aren't you a little happy to see the little havoc in his perfect garden? I'll be looking forward to collecting your new data. Attaboy. Pilot Candidate 007 Mercury interviews. Origin. Memorial Foundation Celestial Mechanics. Extracted. Author. Generation 3 pilot intake. Don't worry, it's just a checkup. M. Historically trustworthy on scenario. It's just questions, I promise. That's not really a great way to set my mind at ease. Let's just answer the questions, okay, wise guy? Fine. Have you experienced a sense of vertigo or loss of balance for a period lasting more than 2 minutes in the last month? No. Have your eating habits changed recently? No. Have your? No. Mercury, work with me, please. Why? You work with me. I absolutely promise neither I nor anyone else would do anything at all to stop you from being exactly who you want, or any whatever changes you need, if you at least answer my questions. Sometimes, maybe? Okay, that's good enough for me. We're just curious if a side effect of life in space, the educational programming of Dr. Nix, the reference to the behavior of Lapidus. No, that's backwards. Everyone else seems to do whatever they want without limits in space. Why is it weird when I do it? We want to test for the effects of space alone, so self-induced changes don't have to be controlled for. Don't ask why it's in my extrin system. It's my extra system. Fine, it's testosterone, and I put it there because I wanted it there. Is that enough? Well, I guess that's what I need to know. If you promise not to ask me about it again, I'll give you all the data I cataloged about the changes. Okay, I get it. You're starting to get it. Stop treating me like a girl, and I know you really got it. Subject. Recommended tactics. Origin. Extracted from nearest OS. Authors. Ship self string of pearls documentation. String of pearls is configured specific outward expressions of gravity. Tidal forces. The dissonant rhythm of this reactor makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. Be cautious despite the range of penetration this unit is capable of. The electromagnetic conductors have liquefied the electrical energy into corrupting material, a form of theoretical matter that should be used as the primary engagement tool. A seducer-saboteur model, the unit functions are inherently insidious. Rather than armor, the plastics are infinitely malleable and regenerate. It's safer to take damage head-on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid, but the unit can be contained, restrained, and impeded physically and tidally. So yeah, charge forward. Always a good plan. We have a mission select again. Completed that one, so I guess we are onto Joyride, Kill Ride. Launch. Oh, please tell me how long you're going to be engaged in this. Why is this so loud again? Get a little quieter again. I stress, again, it's incredibly dangerous, giant waste of time. Let's start sending someone more interesting after me, Mercury. The whole fleet would be after you if you hadn't damaged the entire launch hangar when you stole that. Did they even take me out while I'm flying this thing? No, but that wouldn't stop him from trying. Let me stress from the info packet is a gift purely to prevent your ship self from falling in enemy hands, not an indication of any sort of forgiveness. Let me worry about Impetus, Mercury. It's going to be a lot less grumpy when I clear the way for us and Celestial Machine Mechanics to return to the native sphere. Got it all figured out. You absolutely don't, but okay. Did you read the info packet? Ace Memorial Foundation pilot Lunaterra in hot pursuit with escorts planned an attack on the lab provided after you escaped. Do not engage under any circumstances. Boring. But this part is good. I don't expect you to control your impulses, but even given that you're just like that she is, the last person you should be trying to fight on purpose. Sounds like I should definitely fight her on purpose, right? I hate you. Oh, come on! The carrier's never gonna make it out of the system if I don't. You don't know how to pilot a ship, and she's a veteran since the Cold War. You're going to get yourself captured, humiliated, and the ship trashed. So you're saying there's no downside? Why are you doing this to me? And she's 6'1", huh? Your attention to detail is so useful sometimes. You're using me to cruise? Your taste is so awful. I hate you. Oops. Looks like one of her escorts is in range. Sorry, gotta go. Surprise is all I've got, you know? I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Have fun dismantling my escorts. With a string of Pearl's fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm she's holding, a souvenir of the last of Lunar's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to the base. It's still sparkling and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could just suck it out like crab meat. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain. Saturn is still learning them. Oh, I suppose Europa's learned her lessons about sending me girls who can't control themselves. Oh, really? Hey, that's interesting. Mind telling me more? Oh, she's a hacker too. How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this comm frequency. Aw, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? Part about the girls who can't control themselves. I really want to hear more. It means back up the talk first. Or can you land a hit off the comms? Lunatera's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Lunatera isn't budging. She's always been through much worse. And so has her ship, followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she could never completely repair. The Mare Crisium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in cold metallics, withered and refurbished. The archaeal prototype for all those ship selves, still going after all these years. Still ferociously untouchable. The string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that spear, but she hasn't even nicked Lunatera's ship once. Not bad at all for a joyride, but you can't even get one hit in? Good thing you don't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies? No. Lunatera puts a stake of solid light through the string of pearl's leg, pins it into its own gauze wrapper. Doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metals begin molding and reforming around the wound immediately. A ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain, but she still wants to. She's trying to be cool. Everyone wants to when the bright gleam of that always bleeding ship. It's a pretty amazing ship. Think it will last? Either you're fighting just for fun, because you're that reckless. You're caught up in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around. I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move around a solid light bullet in her leg, but she's not going to let that stop her. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling. Lunatera effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly into the chest. Yeah, you're done. Containment wrapper is still stuck on you, so your movement's off. Doesn't seem to stop you that much. Right? It was so rude of them to try to stop me. It seems cruel to take it away when you're having so much fun with it. Same as you, right? Do I know you? Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. But do I know you? Well, I do, don't I? Let me out this thing and I'll tell you. Why should I? Because you can't help yourself. Besides, don't you want a real fight? Can you promise it'll go different? I can promise it'll be more fun. You are asking for me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead? What, you won't? The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation and double-crossed the rebels she abandoned them for can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy. I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other? Or is it more fun if we don't? It's more fun if they do and Saturn gets embarrassed. It's more fun if they don't and Lunaterra gets owned. Embarrassed is probably Saturn getting bodied in this sense, not, shy. Well, Saturn's pushing for the don't, so we'll just go with the don't. I'm impressed. Most people would be nervous to have a knife this close to their throat. It's not like you can hurt it, so there's nothing to be nervous about, is there? That's true. You're so new to this. I thought your brain would be overwriting from the information from the ship. Maybe I'm not new to this. Oh, you're a cabinet, so I think that might be true. You're also trembling, so I think it's not completely true. Still very dangerous, Lunaterra. I can believe that for sure. You wouldn't be trembling if you were in my shoes? Less so. People tremble for a lot of reasons, though. I don't have anything to fear, so please don't project that on me. Well, if you're fearless, what is it then? It could be anticipation, couldn't it? This is very foolish of me. It really is. I have you right where I want you, remember? That might mean I have you too. Your claws are twitching. I thought we promised not to trust each other. I still don't. And you must really like living dangerously if you're still helping me. I'm having fun. I can tell. If you want to know so bad, this is why I didn't like you. Because you were a test pilot and never got to fly before and the end of the Cold War? Well, idiots like me got to? I thought so. That's enough. Hold still. Everyone let you have as much fun as you wanted. You were a real huge jerk. I was always jealous of that. Everyone who let me get away with it regrets it now. There, I'm done. Thanks! For all your hard work, I should leave you something to remember me by. Oh, ready to fight for real? I sorta already did. Saturn has left a claw scratch of hot pink poison seeping on Mare Crimson's thigh. How's that? I finally did get a hit on you. Ha! Good job. They break away, rocketing. Just a little love bite. Yep. Just nice extreme knife play on the first date. Pay me back for it next time. Trust me, I will. Quick drink. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars, that name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter areas, like the stingy, inevitable weeds that grow out when nothing else does. Kale's Graces is dug in, and we can't get them out. Colonies are wrecked, terraforming engines are broken, the gravity furnaces are out of control, there's no resources left on the planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It's inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship selves can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation and SES's fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too? Leave all those idiots just fucking dying on a rock? What do you think we're doing this for? External communication set August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life. Life is just the start, anyway. Don't you know that the gravity is something more important? You do understand the celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made up of tiny particles. but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made by tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and isn't. It's really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. If humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They already decided that any human without their feet planted on Earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty unusual thing, or pretty usual thing for humans to do. The differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they can send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we get hold of Linehair, and our princesses get through, or Princess gets to get through and make the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communications sent January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Grace's Irregulars. It's morning on Ares, but what time in space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars, where the Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundations are bickering. Hold the city ruins against the invading troops and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But for me, I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space it's been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock. But this is the best we've ever hoped for, as Earth is in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent January 26, 1981, by Celestial Mechanics researcher. Day 3. Gibberish root corruption stuffs. Error. Mission parameters not detected. Mission results. Need for gravitational slingshot permissions. Error. Navigation shortlist not found. Manual eject mission results.txt. Mission parameters found. All results perfect and amazing. Wow, thank you, Saturn. Flight path generating. Fleet path Cronus orbital refuel on planet Ares large range colony. Class classified operation Earth's moon. New standing orders coming in. Ares. Guard Celestial Mechanics fleet refueling on Ares oxygen ocean. Ares. Stay out of trouble and do not engage in Memorial Foundation's troop patrolling in the immediate vicinity. Accept orders? No. Error. Cannot proceed. Manual inject. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Ares. Be careful today. I'm never careful any day, so I'm serious this time. Lapidus is in the field today. I don't know where he's fighting, but you should be careful. Jeez, you worry too much. Obviously, because you give me so much to worry about. I mean, are you really worried? His ship's self is actually not that scary. Not as scary as mine. As if that was the thing I was worried about. What then? Ah, thanks for the heads up. Susurrus just mentioned that this touches on a bit of inappropriate conduct from an older authority. Oh, you god. I don't even think about letting our mutual ex touch me. Won't even fight him. Curve him the second his tides trembling against my plating. Why do you worry? I don't even slightly hate him less than you do. There's no possible way you hate him more than I do. But that's not the issue. That's never the issue with him. Hating him hasn't made it any easier to deal with. We were kids, though we're older and wiser now. At least you are, Mercury. Hardly. I wouldn't be telling you. Remember how he just casually lingered his fingers on second too long on your shoulder? In front of everyone, it was so gross. It was so gross. I love the attention every time. Made me so smug. I loved it. It was gross, and I hate him. Did you love yourself enough not to fall for it again? I definitely hate him enough not to fall for it. Do you? No, obviously. I'm still in celestial mechanics, so how do you think I feel? You're soaring! You've got a stupid idiot who loves you, and you get to do research, and I never have to deal with him again. And with the self ship, we'll have a future. And no matter what, I'll make sure he won't. Subject. 3. Origin. Celestial Mechanics Fleet Main. Misfired transmission. Author. Junk data. Error. Oh my god. Sorry for getting back to you so late, but I was in the middle of a meeting. My phone buzzed so much that the director asked me if I needed to take a call. I swear you do this on purpose. I don't think you really need feedback on your nudes that quickly, even though, yes, they are really important to me, and I can't stop thinking about them or getting any of the work done, and my presentation suffered greatly for my lack of focus. I expect you're prepared for a little payback, and even after I sent you my schedule so you wouldn't happen again, even? Hey, you wouldn't have asked me for my meeting time so you could send those to me at the worst possible moment, would you? I already know the answer to that, so why don't you tell me this? Why can I never get enough of you? Alright, 2 new missions. Deep Dive. The Oxygen Ocean serves as both a fuel yard and terraforming engine for planet Ares. It's a perfect hiding place for migrating celestial mechanics fleet, but deep down, something is reaching up for them. Or 400mm Kiss. Memorial Foundation deploys a certain sniper to stop escape and supply routes to the resting celestial mechanics fleet. All Saturn needs to do is stay out of trouble. But what's the chances of that? Why don't we start by getting in trouble? No, go ahead. Take your time. We're not dying yet or anything. You know, fighting officially on Ares is a lot less fun than I was promised it would be. It's real work, Saturn. I thought that's all of that getting back on good side was all about. But they shouldn't have done such a good job of hiding in the Oxygen Ocean then. Could have maybe staged an attack from the Olympus ruins. Not even Kratos' Graces is precious enough to defend them. Memorial Foundation is true enough to watch over it. Of course, only they would be that annoying. There's recent activity there, and they want investigation. Just being paranoid. It's a stupid plan, only sending someone there to waste their time and chancing their dumb. Or baiting us. Would they really send their ace if that was the case? Wait, Memorial Foundation Warhorse, you mean? Why don't you tell me the most important part first? Coordinates, now, please! Saturn, I really hope you're not actually... Yeah, I'm feeling like, Command is right, actually. Area needs some really thorough investigation. Just to be sure. What's with this sudden enthusiasm? It's really not... No, wait. It's exactly like you. When you said you fought off the Mare Crimson Pilot, what were you actually doing? I don't know what you're talking about, Mercury. I'm so dutiful and brought back this in one piece. That means I won. So don't worry about it. Why are you like this? Saturn gets no-scoped. Lunaterra gets point-blank encounter. Let's get up close and personal. All these choices have outcomes and effects. I'm not caring about what those outcomes are at all. I'm just trying to choose the ones that feel like what Saturn would have the most fun doing. Balance shifts because Saturn moved and Lunaterra couldn't. Got you. She does. Saturn is as good as already down. But so is Lunaterra. Got you too! Pure spite got Saturn this far, and it will get her even further. She takes aim and fires. Lunaterra perfectly still for the perfect shot. It's perfectly unable to get out of the way in time. Saturn's string of pearls is laid out flat on her back, creaking and twitching, and Lunaterra's Mercurium falls from her sniper shot like a burning star. I'm looking forward to playing through this little outcome then. Lunaterra wakes up first, but her flight unit is shot. It's hard to fight a ship that can't fly in a city. The Mercurium is full of unfair tricks. Shooting her down is just the beginning. You have to catch her next. That's alright with Saturn. She's at her best when everyone is in the dirt. When she wakes up, she's ready. She might be in worse shape than Lunaterra, but worse shape is her best. String of Pearl skirts along the half-constructed city with the shape of the ruins and pristine finish of the plastic toys still in their boxes, looking for the hole in Lunaterra's nestled in, and dodging her shots of protest. Reboot took longer than I thought, but ready or not, here I come! Hey, come out! You almost got me last time you poked your head out to shoot. Try again! Oh, come on! I'm not babbling to trick you or anything. I'm just having a great time here. I'd love it if you'd stop making me feel like I'm just talking to myself. I can hear you just fine, Saturn. What? This isn't exciting enough? I guess that's why you're the ace pilot, LT. I need to have you on the ropes to taunt you and dodge at the same time. Air-spitting clash. Impossible to tell which direction the shot came from. Cover around Saturn explodes. I'm an ace because I keep my priorities straight. That's not what I've heard. What have you heard? That keeping your priorities straight is the thing that you're worst at. It is pretty much your most obvious weak point. Maybe they don't know what my priorities are. Is getting shot down by an idiot with no combat experience high on your priority list? The building next to Saturn explodes. Is missing all the time high on your priority list? You really are a brat. Is getting harassed constantly by a flirtatious brat high on your priority list? You really are on your toes today. Can't hit you with anything. Yeah, I'm having fun too. What a mess. I don't know why I'm laughing about it. We're having so much fun. I'm glad you think so. It's a funny kind of date, if you put it that way. If this fighting is just play fighting, then keep playing with me. You should be careful though. You never know what I might try next. I've got so many plans for dragging you out into the sun. Like what? Are they working on me? Of course! Stop underestimating me. I'm executing several plans as we speak. You're not all ready, Lunaterra. I'm not giving you any way out. You're not going to at least give me a hint? I'm at a disadvantage here. You can't trick me into giving it all away, but maybe you're right. Maybe I should be generous and let you know just a hint about one plan? You're generous. You should know this, but winning isn't my highest priority. Won't mean that I'm easy, though. We do think alike, at least on the first half of that. You love winning. The stalemate of this whole conflict should bore you to tears. All that's left in space and second-choice pilots who suck at things like winning no matter how good they are. I'm the second choice, but I'm the pilot that's here right now. No one else would have thought of the plan I did. Oh? I'm a second choice too, or I wouldn't be here. Yep. Great, something. Accidentally clicked. Really? You? Oh, but it's not a good plan. It's just that no one else would do it. Because I'd have to be a freak to try to catch you on foot. The first choice would never be set in space in the first place. That does sound like a crazy plan to me. What would you do if you even found me, assuming I'm standing still? I know it sounds like I'm showing off, but I couldn't beat you in a fair fight, so everything else is in my favor, right? Maybe it's the only way around that ghost ship of yours? How much of a genius you are. I can track any ship that I've hit once. I also have ways of being so hidden you can never find me. Switched characters. You're right. But haven't used them. Maybe not. Also, did you know that your mirror Chrysium has a manual bypass for the opening of the cockpit? Yes. Oh, good. I'll knock anyway. A gentle hiss of pressure, and the cockpit opens. Hi. You look a little different, not nearly so smug. Yep, decently smug. And you look a lot different. I remember you now. You were such a good girl. Never would have thought that was you. I think we covered Luna's 6-1. Smiling, Lunatera. Did something good just happen? You must really trust me to come online. Why would I need to be? I win. I'd say I'm pretty dangerous just like this. You think of everything. Never mind. You do look infuriating, Smug. Or someone I just beat. Step away from the controls. Sure. I'm not laughing at you. I'm impressed. You know, even still, even in a fake fight, you have no respect for me. No one takes me this seriously. I'm the Memorial Foundation ace, but just by default. After the good ones left. I don't mind losing you, since you think I'm so cool. Lunatera kneels by the controls, hands up. Still in reach, Saturn climbs the open arch. No sudden movements. I don't think you're cool. What do you want now? My ship? Me? They're both useless. I'll decide that. I don't need your ship out of commission. I'm going to be much cooler than you very soon, and then I'll beat you sort of fair and square. Maybe I should reprogram the ship to be absolutely sure. Lunatera whips around so fast Saturn's pinned down in the cockpit seat before she can tell how it happened. Sorry, but touching there isn't allowed. So? Then where is touching allowed? You are absolutely much more dangerous without a gun. Lunatera's hands on Saturn's collar, and the other one on Saturn's rib. Saturn slips her free hand down Lunatera's arm. So, how about here? That's fine. Well, what about here? I won't stop you. So you don't mind if I touch your face, but you won't let me touch your ship? Some places on the ship are fine. Some places are me, I'm fine. So, which do you want to know right now? Is this... Damn it. So how's unbuttoning my shirt going? It's harder than it looks at the angle with just one hand, huh? Yep, indeed so, brat. Just make out with me, you anus bitch. Lunatera had this idea, but instead she forgets it. She finds she lets her grip go and Saturn nearly leap out of the chair to kiss her. That thought is a little surprising, but her body made the right call. In the moments in between, when she was too busy overthinking it, Saturn seems a little mad about the smug face Lunatera is making and bites Lunatera's lip as they kiss. It does encourage Lunatera to stop being like that. This is absolutely insane. Are you kidding? It could possibly be better use of your time. Don't tell me duty is why you're fighting out here. You even stop me before I open the hatch. You're not here just for fun. You're not doing this just because there's no point, or you're killing time before the war collapses one way or the other. Obviously, I could be sure and still make out with you. Would it disappoint you if I wasn't? Oh, don't make that face. I can tell it would. It's good, though. I feel the same way. I wouldn't have let you flirt if it was all just you were. How can you be sure? Looks like I know something you don't. Even if it's just one thing. I'm always the last to know. Always make it seem like you know what you're doing. I'm just acting on instinct. My body knows what to do. You should be asking her. She'll know what to do. Day 4. Up to 25% on both of those. The captain told me to thank you for the data stream. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Do you have new results for me? Yes. I'll encrypt them. Thank you, thank you. You're the best. I guess there's no point in asking, what do you want them for? How afraid should I be? I'm just trying to fulfill our mission, Mercury. You know that. I'm going to tell him you're inscrutable and petulant as ever. Oh, please. I don't want your hubby to hate me. Why do you always call Ganymede the captain anyway? Because some of us have a sense of discretion. Oh, Captain's pet is so well behaved. You're one to talk, Saturn. You're going to end up at the pound one of these days if you go through any more superior officers. Now, it's cute you both totally locked that quick. You're making all the lesbians jealous. Then act like it, Saturn. I will not apologize for locking it down. I've had my fill of being a pet. I don't really want to be a pet either. Maybe you're learning to love yourself. What I'd like is to be a toy. That's even worse. No, it's better. Plastic and metal can be molded in any kind of shape. You can smooch over and change, or smooth over and change whatever you want. You only have to accept the interface you're designed for. A toy never gets to do anything. It just sits there looking pretty. Mercury, what do you think I want? Don't you love how our ship self evokes so much? Just by being plastic in the silhouette of a human? Those beam weapons are my fingertips. Cassie's is my tits. But they're also beam weapons and impenetrable Cassies. And they shred the plastic all they want, but they can't touch me. Plastic can't get hurt. But you still can be. Don't forget. People fawn over objects. They worship them. I want to be the product they assess over. I thought you were tired of getting thrown away. I am not for individual retail sale. Look, don't touch. One of a kind, not sold in stores. Subject, Annual Academy Student Rating. Origin, Colony Server Force Extraction. Author, Memorial Foundation Space Academy Archives. Won't rate them, they're still learning. Given this, Halamede is underperforming based on the expectations that you set out for her. I told you the projections were completely divorced from reality, repeatedly for this reason. The authority she may have wielded on Earth means nothing up here. I should add, because I know you will forget it as early as convenient, that she's performing very highly compared to her peer group in specific areas that you seem to consider so highly. Yes, even compared to your Generation 1 aces, she has the potential to surpass them, so stop asking if she's surpassed the top one yet. I prefer to keep those two as separate as possible for interpersonal reasons. Halamede is too competitive and easily impressed to make me worry, or to not make me worry about placing her in close contact with the number 1 ace. Your attempts to put those two close, or in the same room, has not gone unnoticed by me. Do you just love drama, Lepidus, or is there something else you want to believe is more important than the health of our pilots? Subject, Nick's final resignation. Origin, Memorial Foundation Evidence Locker. Author, Special Counsel for the Prosecution of Dr. Nix. In these moments, nothing is more painful than being patronized, but you couldn't even spare me that. Can't understand why you thought me to be that naive. Oh, I really didn't know. They thought a world where children were together and free, could write down their own futures sounded wonderful. We didn't get close to that for them to understand that's not what they wanted. I knew it from the start. The regret only is I didn't get further before they noticed. You're asking for my resignation, but there's nowhere else for me to go. And there's nowhere else for those children to go either. I won't let you have them, and I won't let you crush them back to their earthly shapes. What you're asking for instead is for me to declare war, so I will do so. We'll see if Earth's tides are truly powerful enough to crush the new humanity you rejected. And now for, I assume, a mission with Pluto. Nick seems to have good priorities so far. Saturn, what are you doing? Disabling all comms and driving supports, and disabling all comms and driving supports, and are you still here? I thought I'd cut this channel too. Well, I should go ahead and shut it. Don't you dare cut me off. I'll listen if you promise not to whine or stop me. I will do no such thing, and you cannot make a deal with me. Simply stating a fact, not making an argument. Oh, why, Saturn? Why are you such an incorrigible, petulant nightmare? You were prohibitively forgiven for doing a very good job not getting String of Pearls ruined or captured, and Command even decided to give you the job of sparking the gravity engine that will take our fleet back to the native sphere. But think you wouldn't be so into pressing your luck recklessly. But everyone except for you is so annoying. They're annoying because whatever is causing the tidal interference from the bottom of the oxygen ocean is almost certainly that Kratos Grace's weapon. I have no reason to believe you're going to be loyal. Every single second of the day, you are horrid and undisciplined, and your brief periods of obedience only seem to exist to throw everyone off later. I mean, if you want me to cover for you, you'll have to play along a little. Why are you like this? Years of encouragement and grooming followed by abandonment and neglect, you know that. Same as you. And same for that pilot you're after too? Is that why? In a different way, but I think so. Anyway or not, I want to talk. I think I'm getting somewhere. And I'm not going to get to talk if you're all interfering. What if she doesn't want to just talk? Then you'll really appreciate me cutting the cables before she pulls all of you down there with me. Why is it so important for you anyway? You really jeopardize the whole operation for that? What, you don't think I have my own cunning master plan? It's way better than his. Supposedly nothing can stop Chronmacula. Is it better to find out if that's true sooner than later? Fight her or talk, which is it? How are they any different? Anyways, don't worry if the connection accidentally breaks. I'll be fine, promise, and you will be too. Share a secret moment deep down, getting a tug of war above the waves. Well, tug of war feels far more Saturn style, so go with tug of war. Balance shifts because Pluto tugs and Saturn tugs harder. Deep, so deep, crushing and dark. The String of Pearls has organs that see everything. Smoky and cold, she slips down a stream of evaporation, just shy of being the spark that blows it all up. Whatever's down there, but don't play dumb. Saturn knows exactly who or what's down there, and it's playing coy. Oh, interesting. Do you have the same idea, Pluto? Right, we give Inver. Cutting off comms. Well, now I don't have to cut off the comm line myself. Saturn doesn't have to play by anyone else's rules, even especially the rules of the universe. It's made a last-minute miracle. It loves it best when it's just waiting on the edge between one possibility and another, tempting fate and not caring where it lands. Pluto doesn't cross the rules. She's the universe itself, a perfect target for Saturn. A wall she crashes against. She's not playing coy, she's looking for someone to crash against her. From the dust, Chronmacula tugs, playfully. String of Pearls takes the invitation, yanks back, not so playfully at all. Ooh, boy, do you want to play? Sure do. But come up and play my game. Oh, sure, if you can make me. Chronmacula is a plunge in fascination, a fall omnidirectional into the end of the universe. Chronmacula can drown in the ocean in gravity, but String of Pearls has the greatest trick. The String of Pearls cheats distance. She can't ignore it, but she can interrupt it differently. So, Fx equals anxious, avoidant, infinitely approaching, and never reaching asymptote. Maybe Fx can be a curve accelerating rapidly infinity. Math isn't hard for Saturn, just for results. Mercury would be screaming if the comms were still on, because this is a big risk. The most dangerous and guaranteed way to get the celestial mechanics fleet wrecked if she isn't careful. And even if she is. Closing distance is mutual. Pulling Pluto out of the depths of the oxygen ocean is not something she's doing for them. If Saturn wants to change the rules, then Pluto will let her. She'll be the one to set the variable. No matter what Saturn sets it to, or sets Fx to, Pluto sets the force, so she can go slack if she wants to. Saturn's equation is something like Fx equals the closer you approach, the further I move away. Hard equation to solve. Are you up for it? Along the equations of gravity, Saturn fires hooks. They wouldn't have hit without the equation. It is the moment of Pluto's curiosity that they bet on. And that is enough. The ocean plunges, the ships rock. Emergency retraction! Max output! Okay. I was trying not to cause too much trouble. I just wanted to delay you for a little while. But if you really insist, I'll come make all the trouble you want. That's funny, considering how hard you've been wrecking the Celestial Mechanics fleet. I almost think you weren't going easy at all. Saturn's pulling hard, but it's like trying to pull a star out of a black hole. But something about the way Pluto reacts makes Saturn think it might still be possible. You're working hard. I was just sent to make sure you didn't have an easy time. I've never worked hard. Ever. You sound like kind of a liar. You sure you're not still a bit good? Say it to my face. Okay, if you really, really insist, I can get carried away too. Saturn's capture cables go slack, and she shoots up and out of the ocean, pulled by the panicking surface crew. The equation input has changed. The number of Pluto has changed, and it gives Saturn a thrill. The oxygen tidal wave starts building, the ocean trembles, the fleet size of sea and nearly capsize. Saturn breaks out of liquid and falls into the sky, and Pluto is pulled up, out, and free. The crown macula is more frightening and powerful than Saturn remembered, but she can't be scared now. Well, maybe she can. Just a little. This is what she wanted too. A beautiful solution to her equation. It's hard to know if someone you haven't fought. It's hard to know someone if you haven't fought them. That's something she's known for a long time. The pain of wondering if you just aren't good enough to stand next to someone. She'd prefer to know where she stands. For Pluto, who is made to be so overwhelming that in her presence no other option but peace can exist, she doesn't have anything to prove to herself. Win or lose, she's open when others are honest. Between ship selves and conflict must be honest. It's the only way to make contact. That's the moment she's waiting for, to give life to all the feelings unleashed when she's decided she'd let herself have them. The Celestial Mechanics fleet can't do anything but wait, and think about how this is probably all Saturn's fault. You're strange, Saturn. I don't know what to think. You think you can't win, but you're trying anyway. What do you want to make happen? So sure and unsure of yourself. Well, just come on already. Can't we all just be gravitational beauties? Tides come from people, and people are people, whether they get here being taught or being made. Keep the pity out of your voice, or I won't be having fun anymore. I don't pity you. I was very lucky. There's no reason why I got to be so lucky. But I'm selfish too. I didn't deserve this, but I'll never feel guilty about it. I had too much at stake to feel guilty when I've got everything I've wanted. I know exactly how that feels. Unlike you, though, they took it away again when they were done with me. Well, looks like they weren't able to very long, though. Don't get anywhere with girls if you insist on believing you had it the worst. Every girl has it the worst. You know, I liked it better when I was dragging you. Are you ready to try again? Teach me a lesson or get over yourself. Let me see what's under that envy. Saturn's got a good idea, even as the crown macula tosses fleet apart with tidal forces. The string of pearl closes in, and she can be as close as she touches, yet always out of reach. This time she sets FX as as close as can be. Of course, that's in the crush of her gravity well, but that's fine, because Saturn has dedicated her life to being a fucked up loser. I thought for sure I could make you squirm. You're so perfect. You're even better at accepting that you're not perfect than me. But that's not to say I'll let up for a moment, no matter how bad I am at this. I love that. It's a great thing about you. You don't know how strong your belief is. I know you're gonna lose, but fight anyway, believing you're gonna win still. I always win even when I lose. I'd never go in if I didn't know that. Electrotoxic waves sting in the chromoncula as she embraces the string of pearls. It's like making out with a battery. It's uncomfortable like getting electrocuted, but comfortable like making out. How long can you keep that up? How long can you last if you're crushed like this? What? Isn't this a great idea? Being crushed like a pancake out of you? It's great. You're really incorrigible. I love it, but I can last longer than you can. Maybe, but is it worth it? You're not able to waste time like I can. I'll make it worse. Way worse for you. But I can keep this up. I've got nothing to lose. So selfish and ridiculous. It's the worst for everyone. I love it. It's really kind of outrageous. I can't believe it. Okay, you win. Even though your side objectively loses. What do you want? Saturn's weapons slow and fizzle. Pluto doesn't quite let go. Just hearing I won is all I want. You're really right about yourself. You're totally the worst. I wish I could just be like that. Next time we meet, I'll show you. September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed, in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange Point 5, as the front line against extraterrestrial threats and training facility of a generation of humans adapted to flight in space, as a colony environment with life, gravity, and culture necessary for human beings being able to live, thrive, die, and be born. With the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won this war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues, and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we're supposed to have and turn inside it out into something else. Without necessity, we create a pressurized environment, exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain corrosion. All senses in space self-serve to ferry us throughout the world. They function only in places where gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans, Earth no longer wanted flying zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Extraterrestrial Expansion. We're going back in time even more. July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority. In the spirit of unified human peace and the verified presence of extraterrestrial threat outside the solar system, established a cultural, military, and scientific response to extraterrestrial threats. No longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere where our gravitational reigns forever, safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint. And join hands, all of Earth finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth, and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven, would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really, foolishly, decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is to do better in heavens is meaningless if it can't be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the service, it simply didn't have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The extraterrestrial threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. You cannot trick an extraterrestrial threat into a convenient manifestation. As it's always been, only humans can fill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation Extraterrestrial Safety. January 2nd, 1980. That's when they blew up the Grange colony. It's a real shame. It was green, wet, and a very peaceful place. Now it's very cold, green, and wet, and a very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable extraterrestrial threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation surface considers that a failure, but in truth, they're just not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Though imagining humans chart out what is true, they invent with human effort what exists. Though an exponential threat does not exist, we have to make one. But that, of course, does not work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are human, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. Lapidus, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation, Exponential Research. Root core reformatting, 67% complete. Waiting flight path. Input. Manual extract. CM flight path. Forcibly extracting coordinate. Coordinates received. Flight path passes through former pilot training school, Lagrange College. Receiving new mission assignments. Error. Block ship. South side. Manual eject. Scan virus. Manual eject. Extract. 3 virus detected and deleted. You have new mission assignments. Colony. Reclaim tidal reactor from Colony Core before Memorial Foundation. Colony. Prevent theft and entire colony by Corporeal's graces. Accept orders. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Lagrange County. Comms. Don't make it sound like I hate following command any less than you. Don't worry. I would never doubt that. Hey, Mercury. Why are you still with Celestial Mechanics? Why are you? If you still are, that is. You're the one that can choose. Mercury? Oh, don't. If you hadn't hijacked String of Pearls, you'd be here like me, waiting. See if that's true. That we can be what comes after being human. I don't want that for you. Certainly don't trust or believe in Celestial Mechanics or Lapidus, but wasn't that the worst part? Even after you decided we weren't good enough to be chosen pilots, neither of us left. You knew we wouldn't leave because we already wanted it too much. Do you still want that more than anything else? I don't know. I don't know what I know what I don't want. Just to have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for what? Coming to space, going to the academy, never having a chance to fight in the Cold War, never had to say either way, falling stupidly for the worst man alive. Counting on you, Saturn, to give me something better than just the same Earth we left. You never have to worry about that. I have only the highest ambitions for us. Those girls you're flirting with better have a decent future for us. That's all I'm saying. Sure, fine, okay. What if it's a really good one? If nothing else. Make sure that he doesn't get the future he wanted. Any future but the future he wants is good. Give me and Ganymede a good place. There, wherever and whenever it is. Right. So we're that one. I'm not actually sure which one we were supposed to be on anymore. I am terrible at keeping track of some names. Next, Resignation 2. Origin, Memorial Foundation Investigate Archives. Author, MF Celestial Mechanics Research Lead Lapidus. Nix, you fundamentally misunderstood the purpose of pursuing the dream of space. I never sought to correct you. After all the great things you have accomplished are the result of that misunderstanding. You believe that your dream, so universally loved, was because we wanted it to come true. This was not the case, of course, even though I think Memorial Foundation truly believed that they wanted the same as you. As the tides of Earth turn, They realize in their own hearts that they are not the forerunner of humanity's change, but slaves to its whims. To protect human culture means to always be at beck and call, no matter what it becomes. And their dream is one of the overwhelming power that will unlock the last mysteries and cement our authority forever. What your children achieved with freedom from gravity, we will have that power to determine on our own. You can understand the depths of my gratitude for exploring these ideas. They might one day belong to us. Lapidus. Academy Student Research Records Mercury. Origin Database Leak. Author Pilot Operations Manager. Europa. Of all the Generation 3 pilots, Mercury is by far the best one suited to actually be a pilot. To the degree I'd be terrified of getting that position to anyone of Lapidus' nightmare brats. No, there is absolutely no chance that he'll be signed, of course. He really is trying to maximize. What I want to press, though, however, is that Mercury is someone Lapidus chose personally for the pilot role, and when he served himself during the Cold War, alongside the current second-tier candidate Saturn. Mercury used to be a lot different, which is obvious. A lot of our pilots used to be a lot different, for reasons only space can explain. I think reducing it to Mercury's personal sake is as incomplete of reading as it would be for any of the other pilots in celestial mechanics. Some of them even know exactly what they're doing. Mercury most of all. I don't think he has petulant grudges against humanity. He's just very critical. 2 missions are Becoming Stars. Lagrange colony is on Adol Husk, but Cradle's Graces still clings to it. Pluto's dream might collapse under its own weight, or crush Saturn under it, or Deeper Cuts. In the Garden Distant, closest to manufacturing broken tidal reactor kept the colony together, time and space aren't quite right. It's a perfect place for the real fight. How deep under Lunatera's skin do you think she can get? Why don't we go play with Pluto again first? The whole colony? It's so refreshing to see you surprised for one, Saturn. I'm soaking it in. Or, I'm soaking it in. Mercury. But seriously, he wants me to stop Cradle's Graces from taking the entire colony out of the Lagrange point? Why? Why would they do that? Why do we care enough to stop them from trying? The colony should just rot. It's over. There's nothing left there. Cradle's Graces wants those memories to live again. We discard Earth completely and start something new. It's an anchor pulling us back home. Excessive opening the gravity well on the moon will depend completely on how much is holding us down. Even weak gravities like that. That's more than just stopping her, then. You want me to destroy the colony? That's the mission, yes. Not that I'm not the greatest, but isn't that basically impossible for me? It's huge! There are smaller moons! Do your best, then. The less memories, the better. I thought you didn't have any problems. That colony should just rot. Funny joke. We both went through the same shit. Don't ask me that. Every happy memory is made retroactively disgusting by the sort of person it has turned out to be. I hate him so much. I'll never get over how much. Saturn. Yes, Mercury? Why are you still pretending to be with the celestial mechanics? Why are you doing this is the real question, Mercury. You know him like I do, so why are you still here? I apparently have enough power to destroy a colony, and I can ditch him whenever I want. Leave celestial mechanics, take Ganymede, I'll protect you. Make sure there's a good future in the end. You absolutely will not be fine if I leave. Of course I don't trust him at all, but he wants what I want. It's what you want too. I can't trust him on anything else, but I can trust him on that. Even if he's just doing this for his own gain, with some other agenda in his mind, he's truly going to give us this. Disgusting. That's what I fell for, so stop reminding me. That's why I trust you too, of course, even though I shouldn't. No, I won't accept anything less than you want. You get half of that, it'll be more than enough for me. the future for each other. This one's a tougher choice for the narrative one. I could actually see Saturn doing either of these. But Saturn seems to live more in the moment, so we're gonna go with just doing it for each other. Saturn rushes in because Pluto is ready for this kind of fight. This was not what I was expecting. Like, you're kidding, right? No, Pluto isn't joking. The furthest thing, a swirl of cosmic nebula dust that completely obscures the colony in Pluto's warm embrace is no punchline. Only insofar as it's true that Pluto is so strong it's funny. The colony no longer resembles Earth. Now it's a gas giant, or maybe a star waiting to be born. Whatever the case, even though it's certainly much too late to do anything about it, there's an invitation from inside. Just come try. You must think I'm really dumb. You must have a lot of faith in me, in which case you're really dumb. Could be Saturn's perfect opportunity. If she plays her cards right, Pluto's pivoting everything she has and more into just attempting to move the colony. If Saturn can find her, she'll be helpless. And how am I supposed to do that? Be filling up the whole universe. There's stories everywhere, pulling at everything. How am I supposed to compete with the gravity so strong even the narrative space-time is bending? Oh, hi there, Saturn. You just passing through? Hi. Fancy meeting you here. How did you know it was me? Where'd you find you in the middle of an inconceivable cosmic cloud only you could create? I know, what a coincidence. I've sort of been ordered to fire on anyone in it, though. This might make things awkward if you try to get closer. You could pretend to be at least a little afraid of me. I am, just a little. But even if I should be, I'm glad to see you. I hope that's not a lie. On either part. No, it isn't. I know you're dangerous and very special. And you wouldn't be here if you couldn't stop me. And you're not quite ready for how hard that will be. I'm so very impressed that you didn't decide to sneak up on me while I was thinking, though. Would have been a good chance. Oh? Are you maybe having second thoughts? I was hoping I'd convince you to destroy this place with me. You are impossible. It's adorable. You're incorrigible. I like it a lot, actually. Maybe envy a little. Oh? Thank you. I was just being difficult. It's very charming of me. But it's half serious, too. Nope, never. I was almost tempted, though. I don't know what your memories of this place are like. Bad and good, right? It was a little worse than better. It's the same for me, but this place is so precious to me. It's a seed of life once. Maybe it can bloom again. So I'm gonna protect it. Oh, that reminds me. What are you here for? Do you mind if I ask a personal question? What are you trying to do with it? I'm going to not destroy it? Oh, phew. That's what I was worried about. You really know when I'm beat, so I'll just be... Hey, stop right there. What? I was just trying to banter. You tried to shoot me. That's dangerous. I didn't. You were thinking about it. Of course. Well, she was. More like Saturn was trying to get a beat on Pluto. The string of pearls chides ripple through Pluto's nebula cloud, hoping there's something it can find eventually. It's not like Pluto is hiding. She's just everywhere. It's hard to tell where she ends or begins. Aren't you thinking about shooting me too? You're the one with the advantage on visibility. I'm just sitting here and I can't find you in that cloud. Oh, you're totally right. Dear Super Whipping Cradles Graces, you're actually a little naive. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Was that wrong? Obviously? sorry. I never learned to be on my guard. There's no need to be when I can tell what people are thinking, and, nothing can touch me. It actually worked like that? You'd absolutely never trust anyone ever. No, I trust everyone. I always trust people to do what they always do. Do you think you can trust someone to surprise you? Can you trust to do something you wouldn't ever think of? It's when they surprise me that I'm happiest of all. It's when I really feel like we're not doomed, set in stone, always making the same mistakes. I'm being stupid and following my heart, just like you. You're gonna have to do better than shoot at me if you want to surprise me. There are other ways to fight. You're better at that than me. I think you can surprise me. Is that what you want? On Earth, our souls are weighed down by gravity. At the same time, gravity holds us together, tells us who we are, good things and bad. The Earth's gravity is strong because it's all of us together. Forces that would be insignificant on their own are powerful enough to make a planet when we hold it together. That's where it's so much stronger on Earth. Even the weakest human has that sacred light of the soul and its many powers, to forbid direct contact with the soul, to wield the arts and scientists into shaping existence, to be many and also one. In space, our gravity is weak. Without the constant pressure of tidal reactors, our souls would dissolve, the way that water at high enough altitudes will evaporate off a pilot's tongue without extra pressure to remind them to be water. Stories bleed into each other easily, and our shapes don't hold steady. The fragility of our ships couldn't survive on the moment on Earth. In space, there are things we can never do on Earth. With our heaviness, we can never be so tender. Hey, I get it. Let's pick up from earlier, but fight in the way only pilots can fight. The way only us close to the edge of being human can fight. That isn't fighting at all. Do you feel the same way, Pluto? You're listening, right? I was gonna tell you I don't have the time to play today. It sounds like you know I still want to anyway. Well, that's gonna make it hard to convince you to leave me alone and let me do this. You're here to play, right? No convincing me. I can pick up on the subtext. Blame it on the wicked celestial mechanics pilot who bothered you and didn't let you get any work done. The thing is, it's fun. More fun than hacking. To bleed, corrode, seep into the mist, Saturn can feel every particle and celestial physics that make them move. It's a swelling, ossification. Pluto is conducting something beautiful, something overwhelming. The equations are hints and patterns to how Pluto thinks, where she might be. It's simple to trace back, easier than hacking too. Space is boring, space is empty, space is broken. Space will never give us everything we want. Space is a hope that what we want to make real might already be out there. Just reach out in space and time, and we can almost touch it. Space is just a means to an end, but for a moment, Saturn is overwhelmed with just how beautiful even the boring, dead, empty space can be. Even just the way that dust moves around. That's when Saturn realizes she has lost. She went in to tear open the story, twist it around, and instead, she got so lost and happy in it, she didn't even notice the clouds swirling around her, the cosmic dust covering her, Pluto holding her tenderly. Pulled into the atmosphere of the colony, they orbit gently. Saturn has no reason to fight. It doesn't even feel like she lost. It feels like she won something special. Okay, Saturn. Open your cockpit. Why? Because I trust you. Do you trust me? I do. The same way you trust me. No, I trust you way dumber than you trust me. You're so amazing and so much more amazing because you believe in something like being human. Pour everything into something that won't pay off. It makes me mad, but sometimes I think it might work. Saturn's cockpit opens. Naked guts, exposed circuits. Homunculus thumb presses against Saturn and distant cockpit exploring. Oh no. You're really hooked in good there. Why would you ever do such a thing to yourself? don't have to answer. I understand. Your cheeks feel human and soft. Oh, wow. Suddenly I don't feel like moving the colony much. Maybe not destroyed any more than it was before will be good enough. Why am I doing this? I need to get back to my post. You look so nice like this. When I get closer, is that okay? Oh, I guess it shouldn't. Wow, that's so... a brazen move. Okay. Maybe you really win this time. Just ending up with a lot of Cradle's Graces at this point. Saturn, I would love it. Just love it. Yeah? If you messed everything up this time. Is this reverse psychology? Did I really reduce you to that? I'm a little impressed by your persistence in nagging me, but now I'm feeling you pushed you to your limit. Shut up. As always, I'm serious. Messing things up is literally the only thing in the world no one has ever needed to specifically tell me to do. You keep yelling at me when I do. I've been looking into Lapis' work on the invasion project. Oh? How much do you know? More than you know. Of course, it's always been suspicious that Lapis decided to support us. He was very insistent in his interest in taking humanity to the next stage. As if that's why any of us wanted to connect with the so-called existential threat. People who had already everything on Earth couldn't possibly understand. They just wanted even more for themselves. That's what I thought too. Lapis' plan is attractive for certain factions of Memorial Foundation. Certain factions of Memorial Foundation really liked the days when humanity was united against the existential threat. Except aliens aren't real. Okay, they're an nth dimension shadow cast by gravitational impression of human culture and space-time, but that makes them a few shades short of real and less dangerous than their cousins on Earth. And even those are so weak that kids with radios can take them out. Anyways, Pluto wiped them out. That was the whole plan. Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure what the kids with radios was talking about, but that makes sense. That it's a reference to the other game from the devs. Since humanity doesn't care about them anymore, they'd never expect that we would find a way to avert our tidal reactors and become the aliens ourselves. The only alien is that alien to us, and that's fundamentally humanity. We're aliens to ourselves. Function that which is human, that which humans are not. And Lapis isn't going to give up everything he has for that. You think he's lying about wanting to? I think he's lying about himself wanting to. I think he's happy to let us complete the project and go home. Because he'll have exactly what he and the rest of humanity is longing for. A scapegoat? Someone to be an alien humanity could gutlessly fight against? Yes. I'm fine with abandoning the Earth. It hasn't given me anything. But not on his terms. Not ever. Don't worry, Mercury. I've got a plan. No matter what, it won't go his way. Ganymede intercept. Do not read, Saturn. Bridge information, Officer Mercury. I'm completely uninterested in communicating with Lapis in any capacity that's not technically. I know my boundaries, but you are very nice to worry. I know you're not jealous because you do not respect me, but don't make me worry. It's what I like about you. I know you're worried for me, not about me. I appreciate that. I do want to clarify things so you stop asking me about it. Even though it's cute, I do appreciate it. Really, I'm not just saying that. Please don't hear that in a passive-aggressive voice. But I've been meaning to ask this for a while. Is it okay that I believe in this? It's so important to me that you understand that's nothing to do with him. So I worry that means that you do not understand what it means for me. I do not believe humanity needs to be punished. I'm for being human. But I think it's important reminders needed, not all alien in the sense of for and other that you can bear of rage and hatred, but alien in the sense of casting us our own features of relief. I think what we see as a result should shame us, but there are many things that we need to see. You'll probably say you support me and believe me. Thank you. But you'll also say that it means something to you too. That's really why I love you. Subject: String of Pearls, Final Specifications. Leftist message set. Celestial Mechanics, Ship Self-Design. This is not what we talked about. Not by a mile. You know, I don't actually have a moral compass that doesn't revolve around what's cool. So coming from me, just know that my professional opinion, and that I'm not even sure this is cool anymore. Creating a theoretical matter is not hard under laboratory conditions, and in space it's easy to sustain it. But the creation of exotic matter like electrotoxins can get really not fun if you aren't careful. Since you hate fun, I already know that it's not what you're after. You don't have to level with me or anything, and that's fine. But I do want you to know that this thing is basically designed to generate as quickly as possible. The reactor tends towards a version, and that will still require a pilot. I really would not want to meet, and piloting style that no one should ever do. Eventually it's going to drag the pilot down, and it's going to be really weird and ugly unless they are immediately destroyed. Clearly you want that. I mean, you've said so, but if they're going to have so much fun, let me try to convince you that you should set a self-destruct in there. Maybe something cool will happen when she averts and the ship self keeps her anchored in space-time to mess everything up. If not, don't you want a backup option? Alright. Lunaterra's mission. Yep, that's basically what the email said, and probably fear Saturn could totally go full-blown renegade. Ugh, this place. You don't feel like seeing home again? Aw, come on! Don't tell me you don't have any fond memories of the Academy. I do, despite myself. That's why I don't have any wish to see it like this. A ruined garden that only reminds me how weak the gravity of this whole venture really was compared to Earth. Not to mention, it was all for something completely worthless too. Wait, are you grumbling about a mission? This is historic! The range reactor is just a little house shell. There's barely any advantage to us getting it. It's better be a trap to use you as bait to get the moral foundation off the trail. Oh, no. What a terrible trap to fall in. More flirting, I see. It's not bearable. Yes, extremely. Are you really still getting nowhere with her? What are you talking about? I think you said you were going to crack her open and peel her shell. I don't think you have. You don't get anything. Shh. I'm completely and utterly correct then. Shh. She's highly evasive, point blank or sniper shot. Can't seem to hit her. Your type, I see. Shut up. I think the Academy's most notorious heartbreaker to look like an idiot at me. So I win, so shut up. She's even stupider than I thought she was. She's not as stupid as me. You're the one with your guts all over the place. Just fine. Frustrated, alright? It's not because I'm not getting anywhere, or because I even care. Alright, this time I'm done playing. Happy? If there's anything there, or if she's just metal all the way through, I'm gonna find out. She's that boring, I'll never forgive her, but I'm coming back with guts this time. Well, this feels like the proper way for Saturn. Fight, for real, in a fun way with all the quotations, definitely feels far more Saturn than the other one, so go in this one. Surprise attack isn't very sporting. But don't be jealous, because I got mine off first. You got a wound on me. A grand shell. That's not a good enough deal? No way! In fact, I apologize. Hiding so I can't surprise you again is so unfair, Lunatera. Let me bully you some more. I'll pass. Are you sure? You sure you don't want to get bullied? See if you can find me first. Oh, like cat and mouse games, don't you? You want to try it again? Won't you just play a game this time? Can you find me even when I'm serious? Then I'll get serious. Lunatera hides in the Garden District, one part of the colony she has no memories of. The Garden District doesn't have any trees or flowers or plants. It's not that kind of garden. A garden for children meant to inherit space. Not like Lunatera came in the first generation. Teenagers too old and too molded by the Earth's gravity to inherit the cosmos. The second generation was raised here, in the light of the colony's center, the Grange tidal reactor. Lunatera remembers like the sun, with the hope that they would grow freely in the lightest gravity, free of Earth's weight. Lunatera is the one holding up the useless shell of that reactor now. Even broken and useless, Lunatera doesn't feel comfortable holding it. Unpleasant, trustworthy, object, and it feels wrong to just hold. It was made by people, but it doesn't seem like it was. It's a fake, but it's unsettlingly close to what celestial mechanics eventually intended it to be. They seized control of the reactor. Before the conflict broke out, something not made by humans. It's so useless, why don't you just give it back? You can tell what I'm thinking, huh? Or read between lines. Just like Pluto, but it's different. Something I still can't understand. You've been playing with her too, haven't you? I sure have. Jealous? Of which of us, though? Both. I could never really read the story like you both. I'm straightforward. It's not even a little true. You're being way too stingy with the narration. Narration? You can't perceive space-time as a story? A narration spun out of the ambient gravity of humans? Telling you about everything that is, if you can listen? You can't see how obviously your envy is bleeding out everywhere, can you? I'm slipping, huh? Not more than I thought. But see why I'm jealous? I don't think anything about what you mean. I wish I could speak that language. It's amazing. You should be really sad you don't speak it. I just have this absence. Your impression on the narrative is something like spilled whiteout? Gushing ocean of bleach. It's a pain in the ass for someone like us. I also have a habit of acting too fast to get caught up in the story, especially when it's not going your way. 3 times faster than the story knows what to do with. And that's how you're different, Pluto. She would swell into the atmosphere, but you slowly bleed into the spaces between the line. I can feel you seeping through, blurring the lines between one another. What is it that you're after? Curious? And stop hiding. Rain-slick streets are looking more and more the same. The weather is malfunctioning, the moisture regularly shot, gravity falling is doing strange things, playing strange tricks. Susan's feet are all wet and afraid. She's falling right in a trap that feels like it's in every direction it wants. You can't trick me. Lunatera dodges at the last second. Or it was never there. Satin bleeds into the narrative, then Lunatera's trick is having a real good habit of interrupting the story just when it's getting good. Good thing she'll never know how much Saturn and Pluto think that's cool. I have eyes too, Lunatera. I don't think gravity alone is enough. Saturn swipes again. Lunatera wouldn't be hit by such a thing. She isn't ready for the dripping, sparkling neuralite. She misjudges the distance, assurance of gravity. Mirror sparks and bleeds from her left arm. Yep. I was getting the sense that through the other playthroughs, like, Pluto also will probably have a lot of playful narration, and then Lunatera probably has very little narration compared to the other two. That she just has far less sense of what's going on from the narrative. Lunatera spins her sphere, crushes the string of pearls to the ground. It crumples, then darts away, lost in the mist. Saturn's worse off for her machine, but her machine will fix itself. The poison Chrysium's systems is only getting worse. You almost got me, but not quite. Is your game off a little today, Lunatera? I thought you were going to be serious. You're gonna have to do a lot better than that if you want to see me serious. Oh, you're misunderstanding. I'm going to cheat. You're the one who's gonna have to take this seriously. How's that arm feeling? Still sparking? Still gooey? Doesn't take that much, you know. Have you been cleaning your system regularly? What kind of fight are you looking for? A one-sided fight where you try the hardest and still lose? Looking for payback? What? No, who cares about that? It's for you. Because you love getting owned. You're never holding back. There's no way I can beat you. You're even stronger than any story anyone's told about you. You always win and no one touches you. If Shift Stuff's fights for life and death, that make you a genius. But they're not. They're made in the image of plastic toys to fight like plastic toys. So that makes you an idiot for not playing along. Man, being honest. You'll save a lot of time if you give in and say I'm right now. If you beat me for real, that'll be all the answer you need. Stoic to the last. That's great. Holding out of me is actually kind of delicious. What's the story gonna tell me? What's happening? Are you gonna let me hear all about the static in your joints, the trembling in your mask, your slackening grip? I'm on the edge of my seat, waiting to know. Lunatera knows that's true. Saturn can't sense where she's at all. She knows immediately that Lunatera knows she knows. Tell me all about that, and I promise, without any hate or fear, I'll listen. You don't believe me, but I promise I won't laugh or hurt you. I can't see you, so you can escape if you want. I'll let you keep that little ball even. And the poison will wear off, but I want to see. Do you want to show me? The Mercuricium crashes to the ground, skids along the wet streets of the colony. Her legs give out, and her arms are too weak to catch her fall. A string of pearls lands gently, surprisingly, but that's where these ships were meant to do. They're meant to land gently. Even the electrotoxins are tingly, but not painful, in a warm, numbing sort of way, like clicking a battery with every part of your body. There's no way that Lunatera can stand up. As soon as she lets it all in, she falls in a mess, totally defeated. Oh wow, you really did it! You got so quiet. You're so well trained. You're the big strong ace, but you shut down so quickly. You really can't deal with me at all. Why is that? Didn't you say you weren't gonna bully me? I'm showing all possible restraint. You really did make it hard. I thought you were kinda cool. You really acted like you knew what you were doing. Even though you were so scared. Leave me alone. No, baby, but you love this. You're looking forward to it. I can see right through you. These ships are meant to touch. If you never lose, you never let anyone in. Think of all this losing at all is actually kind of sad. Want to give this all up and just drag me home? Are you really sure? Lunatera, you do not lie to me so much. Smug, untouchable Lunatera that I used to hate. She's so boring. The you that you don't want anyone else to see. It's a much better you. That's the you I want to see. Lunatera is conscious of her own breath and unconscious pulsing rhythms of the ship's self, which trembles, and not just from the electrotoxins. She really can't move in any sort of effective way. But what she's feeling isn't fear, or even helplessness. It's anticipation. If she thought that she trusted Saturn as much as anyone else, not at all. Now that she has no choice, she's surprised. She trusts Saturn so much, even knowing exactly what she wants to do. Saturn plucks the broken reactor out of Mercretium's hands and tosses it away like trash. And I will. Now that I have the power to peel your skin off and see it, I'm really happy. I never thought I'd finally get to see you like this, even though you're letting me. Little secrets just for me, and the narration will never tell. For you only. So, only I get to see you twitching and helpless. No one else knows? Not telling, but it's just for you, so keep it ambiguous. Got it. I could be strailing you, not pinning you. It's certainly possible, but not for certain. I'm not saying anything definitive. You've got it. Thank you. I've got my pride. Yeah? Your pride? Tell me about that. It's worth a lot to me. And I'm worth even more, right? It's January 30th, 1981. The day is almost here. The deadline to save anyone who came up to space with us, fought with us, tried to bring everyone up with us. If we shut down the lunar gravity well, there won't be any choice left. The power that keeps our ship selves in check will fall apart. We won't have anywhere else to go but home. If we kill the dream, no one will die. We really, really hope that's true. No one should die in space. No one should die, period. No one has to die because the ship self-combat is shimmering missiles of light, cosmic explosions, electricity that sears through the soul. Blade science is impossible for a human to produce. Dances of combat without end. A fight against ideas with toys. Humans would never show that sort of compassion with each other. Earth's answer is a single atomic particle fired at near light speeds directly into the cockpit core. A true weapon for military force. The quickest, most effective, instantaneous, unavoidable way to kill a human. The most boring possible way to pointlessly die. No drama, no meaning, no nothing. Lunaterra, Memorial Foundation Ace Pilot. It's January 30th, 1981. In the end, they might get everything they want, in a way that no one wants. If we open up the lunar gravity well, then we can establish forever another Earth. And maybe another. We can inhabit the whole system. That'll cut humanity into two or more. The distance will be so much further. Everything we have will be further from them. How much are we going to lose? How much will we never be able to give them? The moon is very close to being part of Earth. It's full of life, and humans can live here now. It feels impossible, and I don't want to give up. We should break it off forever, shouldn't we? All I want to do is stitch these two humanities together. But one of us dies as a result. I will fight forever to keep that precious thing alive. Pluto, Princess of Cradle's Graces. January 30th, 1981. I don't name it because naming it gives it power, but not naming it gives it more. It must be in every corner, behind every door, far, far away in the spaces between stars. It's defining categories in way human culture and deliberately omitted from exploited naming conventions by the Memorial Foundation in favor of euphemism less captivating to the imagination, such as extraterrestrial threat, rather than a specific word that would stimulate the imagination. But a trick like this will not work, and the euphemism is a hollow void that can hold all fierce possibilities. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not, and what is not does not stop existing. It, like humans, can decide. It's the kiss of inverse, everything that humans can imagine, but they can't become. The shortcut to attacking it is to forsake everything that humans are already. If a bunch of idiots get tricked into going there, it would make a very convenient enemy for Earth. That's the real fear. Before that happens, I'll tell you a little secret. Ready? Saturn, Celestial Mechanics Test Pilot. Day 7. Route installation complete. UOS in operation. Celestial Mechanics fleet collecting the orbit of the Earth's moon. Request for assistance received. Ignore. Awaiting manual input of mission parameters. Assist Cradle's Graces and Celestial Mechanics with opening of gravity well and changing gravitational conditions to make conflict with the Earth possible. Mission created. get in as much trouble as possible with Memorial Foundation Ace. Mission created. So she is. These definitely do feel very, Saturn missions. Especially the second one. Just get in as much trouble as possible. Sounds very fun. Calculating gravitational slingshot data from server hack. And yeah, it definitely took a while to get the custom OS set up, but eventually won. Go Saturn. Ready for launch? Yes. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Earth's moon. We are getting up there with Cradle's graces. We have not supported the memorial yet. Do you think about Ninth still? That's out of nowhere? I think about them every day, obviously. They're the reason celestial mechanics exist. First, to understand what happened to them. And then, because we couldn't stop thinking about it. About how to make what happened to them happen to us. Well, still don't know what exactly was exactly. They had us all get together to reach through space and time and contact the existential threat, from wherever it came, to make sure that it truly had been defeated for good. I think they're really hoping it wasn't. We felt the same, especially us, who never got to fight yet. We reached together as far as we could. Enough to reach farther than anyone. I didn't think it would have been them before anyone else, but I didn't know them. Was it that they reached too far? Or what? Or something that reached them? What's the difference? In the end, they got it. Whatever it was. You have second thoughts? Maybe. They were the only one. I always wondered why that was. Were they special? In a good way or a bad way? Were they chosen? What would be the criteria? You know, none of that, though. Just a lonely, unchosen child. So little presence in this world that they fell into another one. That's how it is. The only trick is how to do it on purpose. And that's just it. Are we too attached? Maybe something new and share it with everyone. Am I too heavy for the apple? It's a thin line between falling into inverse because you have hope, and because you don't have any hope. We should be glad it's not so easy, you know. Subject: Why Children? Memorial Foundation Space Program documentation. Author: Director Nix. They aren't children anymore, but when they were pilots, they were for all the obvious reasons that children are more suited to be pilots than adults. Since the decline of the space program, there have been fewer and fewer waves of new recruits, and the current pilot generations have no successors. Adults are serving as pilots because there are no longer any children in space. Adults should not have to serve as pilots. It would be cruel to send children to fight a war so that adults don't have to, especially as adults have far more powerful tidal forces than children. In their physical and metaphorical manifestation, tides are the measurement of the authority that culture has over the universe, and the light of the soul that turns impossible things into dominion. The gravitational forces of children are weak enough to perceive and engage the existential threat without obliterating it instantly, and as a cancer that exerts a subtle influence in the back of our unknowing minds, they are suited to protect us from. For this reason, Memorial Foundation has pushed against the traditional cultural institutions for engaging existential threats with this more humane practice, due to the resilience of children and detrimental long-term effects contact with existential threats has on adults in the vast majority of cases. In some exceptional circumstances, contamination lingers in children. The gravitational forces never achieve sufficient power to extinguish the existential threats without resistance. Without the tidal force to challenge other adults, they remain in limbo, unsuited to do anything else. The remaining small percentage of the original pilot program that continues to reside in space is made up of such cases. Subject: New version proposal. Origin: Memorial Foundation Central Classified. Extract: Memorial Foundation Celestial Mechanics. Thank you. I am no different from my former colleagues. I think we all want the same thing. Ultimately, every one of us. I'd implore you to be the forgiving of them, but not of their methods. Many of us are thankful of ending the Cold War, the paranoia and suspicion that accompanied the strengths of the existential threat of the Earth, or world. and it fed of the trauma and malaise and discontent of the world after the war. But I think some of us must have the reservation about the future. Abandoning the extraterrestrial threats to address the threats of our home, it will inevitably be the result of turning the conflict between humans once more, and in turn, the extraterrestrial threat will thrive. We're looking for the smoothest, most uncontested future. I won't lie, this will not ensure happiness for everyone. In fact, it may be more difficult to understate how much it would ensure the opposite for what we've sure and for very few. And what I'm proposing will ensure the maximum happiness for the maximum number of people. What else can we do? Yeah, Lapidus does not seem like a great person. And I'm going to need just 1 second. I need to grab another drink off my shelf. I always prepare a ton of drinks beforehand, but I am drinking a ton during this one. Okay. The emails and the big blocks of text between the ones are just completely drying out my mouth as I'm reading them. Yep. And as my mouth gets drier, I start stumbling on more and more words. So I'm trying to stay well hydrated during this so I stumble less. Okay. 2 new missions. Make sure I didn't break from moving. Okay. The acceleration due to gravity, celestial mechanics, and Cradle's graces have one thing in common. That's escaping Earth's gravity. To do that, they need Saturn and Pluto to work together to corrupt the lunar gravity well. It's an opportunity for one to get the upper hand on the other. I'm not thinking about it politically. Or plastic versus metal. Earth has promised to let the children of space sort themselves out, for now. But the machines of war guard the way back home, just in case. When Saturn and lunar terror meet in chance encounter, the true terror of humanity stares them down. Let's start with the working together one instead of the terror of humanity one. How's the new equipment fitting? It's not that much weirder than how it was before. This mission's a really weird one, Mercury. This was always the plan, you know that. The lunar gravity well is the anchor that all tidal reactors resonate with. It's how ships selves maintain their form, how colonies on the planet survive orbital bases, and ships maintain environments humans can survive in. Gravity in both literal and figurative senses is required for us to live in space, and without it, we dissolve into the universe, become everything that humans aren't. There's a lot of that in the universe. If you've noticed, we take a turn to something interesting and specific. We have to make sure that we're controlling the inversion process. Is it gonna work? Probably not. Wouldn't trust Epidus to do this, right? There's nothing in it for him, so why would he care? When he lived on Earth, he had everything he wanted. He isn't like anyone else who came to space. He's just flirting with the idea of transcending human limits for boring reasons, and only for his. There's no places left on Earth to conquer, so he wants to be the first to own the future. If this actually works, I don't want to share it with him. No, you don't have to worry about that. I told you I was playing this how I wanted, right? I'm not letting him have this. I think Saturn is more likely to try to be in control than let someone else control her. So we're going to try to tempt Pluto. On the lunar South Pole, the moon's first city glimmers mundanely or ordinarily. It's hard to believe it's not another site of Earth. The Grange colony was destroyed, the Ares colony was stillborn. The Earth satellite is almost as much Earth as Earth is. So we have the authority to name Earth satellite the Moon. Part of the body, native sphere, is not foreign, unknown Luna. Even if the space program's ended, the Moon will remain part of the Earth, as it once was before a comic event tore it from Earth. Claiming the Moon was historically and existentially important event for all of us. Except for this impossible tower on the impossible mountain, the point of eternal life, which is not so earthy yet. The gravity well is suspended directly above the tower's point, resonating with Earth, to keep every wayward human in space grounded. The Moon has been taught almost all of the Earth's gravity, but not quite. There's still some possibility left. You're quiet. Are you up to something? What makes you say that? The tilt, but also everything else. I'm being really sneaky here. A string of pearls and chromaculus circle around the small glimmering void of Gravity Well. All the good it might do, Celestial Mechanics and Cradle's Grace's capital ships are standing by, just not too close. Who knows what could happen? I should be suspicious, shouldn't I? I think you must have some sort of evil plan. Of course! I should always be suspicious. I'm shifty. I'm here to get that upper hand. Good, that's why I'm here too. Still, I don't mind if it's your evil plan that finally succeeds, as long as it's yours. You're trying to fluster me. Try harder. I mean, it's working. I just want to get flustered more. You're in a really good mood. I'm extra worried. More worried to be working with you than all the times fighting you. Not in a bad way, though. Gravity Well is a massive engine, and it's very stable. To destabilize it's very dangerous. To everyone and everything. Which is why they're opening it. Exploring operational platforms, Cradle Graces, and Celestial Mechanics to tonelessly coordinate with each other to instruct Saturn and Pluto on preparations, like exes that are forced to attend an event for their children together. Because that's what they are. Now, you're the one who's quiet. I was in a good mood. Did I tease you too much? Oh no. I was just remembering something. Do you remember this too? We did something like this before, a long time ago. We did? Together? I only saw you a little bit back on campus. It was kind of a weird time. You seemed really far away then. More so than now. We weren't there that long. Third generation, they wanted to kickstart the process, you know. Not a whole lot of childhood care and attention, but condensed. Chemical existence, cybernetic enhanced growth. They let us go from nothing to perfect. I guess by that standard, we didn't fall as short as we could have. Holding dimension chords, beginning torque acceleration. There were hard times. You know, I was really bad at first, right? Not just terrible at all the classes, all the tests, all the work. I wasn't obedient or likable either. It was super annoying. Still feels like that's me most of the time. That can't be true. Of course it's true. I would have tried so hard if I hadn't been like that at first. When I first got here, I knew I was lucky. I should have been so much happier than I was on Earth. Everything felt wrong. It took so long for those memories to turn happy. Containing stray particles, establishing that. It's the opposite for me. At first, I loved being a science experiment. I guess it would have been different for you. Think about that. You made it sound like we met each other before? Establishing physical canceller, limit off. I'm good at remembering people. There's not that many of us, so it's not that hard, but I remember you. It looks like you started out perfect. You know, I was a little jealous of you. I'm not surprised you don't remember the one thing we did together. Everyone was there. We were just thinking about what happened and not anything else. Oh, you're talking about... Yeah, that. We're all there. So, no, of course you were there. I didn't think about that either. Nyx, Impetus, Fiora, all wanted the space program to justify its existence. Earth didn't agree. The alien threat that we defeated with such ease wasn't even worth it. There's a shadow created by the waves of humanity in space. The color and the light fought us and never came into focus. They all had us come together over the gravity well just like this. See if we could pull whatever there were more fully into our universe. And it all went wrong. That's when the space program really ended, isn't it? We should have never done it. It was risky, and no one knew what they were doing, and everyone was desperate. And no, Venus doesn't feel the same. A tiny point of glimmering darkness in the gravity well sometimes shines in such a way that for a moment, it seems like there's something inside it. I'm guessing there's a lot more story for Neith. Not even sure. Keith, but with an N. Neith, probably. In some of the other storylines. So we haven't gotten a ton in Saturn's storyline. Nope, just a couple mentions. I hope that's true. I want to believe it. I can't blame them for what happened, though, either way. Really, though? What do you mean, can't blame them? I mean, we were the one that gave in, right? Most people talk about what Ainth did or what happened. They turned inside out in the light of gravity. Well, except it was a horrible accident. Not something they did on purpose. Why do you talk about it like it was? I just had a feeling. I didn't really know Neith at all. Fun fact, though, Neith, contrary to Greek-Roman naming conventions, is an Egyptian deity, a hypothesized moon of Venus that turned out to not exist. Oh, that is a fun fact. No, maybe I should just be honest. For a second, I was thinking of the same thing. What if I jump in? Not the same thing. We could have been like that. During the testing, when we saw the gravity well opening before us, we could have jumped in too if we wanted. It was scary. It was, but a lot of us looked at it, and after we thought, us too. That's how the celestial mechanics was born. That's the truth. Whatever Eptis really wants aside, we have our own ideas. It's amazing I couldn't be so brave. When Earth looked at emerged, they were filled with despair, so that's how I decided to feel too. After all, it was proof that the exponential threat was the same thing that it's always been. The same thing that we've been fighting as long as humans have been humans. The shadow of possibility cast by us. Not quite their aliens we'd fought for so long were just caused by ripples in space-time. We had only ourselves to lose, and nothing to gain by fighting them. Where Ainth went and what they became, only Venus knows. What did you really feel in that moment before you told yourself otherwise? I'll tell you how I felt. I felt smug. I mean, I did everything right, and that loser messed it up. When I learned it was the end of the program, I was mad. But when they demoted me from piloting anyway, I realized I was the fool. It's an important lesson to not being a good girl. Stabilizing reaction, synchronicity perfect, hold until stable. I feel like I know you a little better, Saturn. Me too, in a new kind of way. Now you, what did you really feel? The gravity well opens, the reactor is turned inside out, shining white to infinite black, drawing in all that is emanating in, all that isn't yet, but with gravity itself. The weight we have in the universe, that alone is we need to touch. Oh, there you are. I knew we'd only get a moment to touch. Do you think maybe sometimes of falling in? Even you must have thought about it. Core resonance is perfect conditions. Ready for full release. Gravity well unbound. All stability checks nominal. Here he comes. Back then, I almost did jump in. I thought about it before it was happening. I said, you must not, under any circumstances. It would make anything I couldn't do possible if I left everything I had behind. It's an awful paradox deal, but I wanted to do it so much I would have if Ainth hadn't wanted it 1 second more. I've never told anyone that. You're really good at seducing people, Saturn. I gave you the chance to fall again, Would you? Would you fall in with me? Oh, you just wait and see. The gravity well shines. He's collapsing into a star. Everything is starting. The opening was peaceful. Perfect. No problems. Yet there's a feeling like the fluttering of wings deep down. Day 8. Everything's ready for you. I wish you'd let me help you more. You'll be fine back home. Without a ship? Envy a little bit. Piling's for girls and jocks. Not my thing. I wish I was coming with you. Sometimes, a very, very tiny bit. Mercury? We are very different. But I love you. Parts of the same thing. We wanted the same things. I'll walk alongside you until we get them. Really? You're not leaving, possibly forever? If I'm leaving, you're coming with me. If I stay, I'll bring you home. You know, you can't rely on me for anything, but you can count on me for this. Promise. I promise. You promise with correct punctuation and capitalization? So you know it's real. What else can I do to pay you back? Nothing. I count on you for a lot, Saturn. Same way you count on me. Why children? Origin. Pilot program training documentation leaked. Memorial Foundation native spirits articles. By the end of the space program, with recruitment having stopped almost a decade before the official decommissioning of the space program, all pilots have become adults. They were recruited as children and spent the fiercest years of fighting against the existential threat as children. Much like criticisms levied at the scout programs on Earth, it was motion that Memorial Foundation considered heavily in deciding on how to recruit their pilots. Children have no special piloting qualities, with much weaker tidal authority than adults who, of course, have the tidal authority to engage in other adults. Adults would be stronger, more powerful, able to use ship selves, much more so. And beloved chosen adults rather than the discarded and flawed children that were chosen. On Earth, adults with much, much stronger tidal forces than children will destroy the existential threat before even comprehending it. And because of this, those threats were able to hide in the world and prey on those who are more weak, such as children, or those who are unchosen as adults. Those who are strong enough should struggle with other humans, and those who are weaker protect the results from the threats that set in humanity. Sustained contact with existential threats often exacerbates this effect. Whereas cold twofold reason for delegating who will not confront the existential threats, children and the unchosen bear the burden so adults will not be worn away. Alright. Time for our Luna mission. Spinning up tidal reactor, frequency double checks. First turn. 100%. Frequency double checks. Second turn. Spin and stop and spin them again. From 0 again? Where were they at? 99.99999, but it doesn't matter. They should be at 100%, so we're spinning them again. Mercury, if I go out and die, it's not going to be because we didn't quintuple check every reactor pulse. Saturn, this time please, could you listen for once? No matter how useless I know I'm telling you this, and you say this over and over, you can listen, seriously. Tell me you're not going to be risky this time. It's not a game anymore. This mission is different. It's not the ship self to ship self. Those troops are real weapons from Earth, designed threats that are real, non-existential. They're perfectly capable of killing, and they're designed for no other purpose. That's not even going to be an issue, though, because your orders are strictly to observe, and not get remotely close enough to engage. They won't leave stationary orbit around the near side of the moon. They're Earth's insurance plan, and we can ignore them as soon as we make sure that's all they're doing. Don't joke about dying. That can happen. It won't if everything is perfect and you do exactly what you're supposed to. Finally matters this time, and you... Mercury? Mercury, please. Well, I'm actually really sorry, Mercury. I didn't mean to make you worry. I didn't mean to make you worry for real. I promise I'm not trying to die, okay? I promise, okay? Making poor choices about who to kiss and what to do isn't the same thing. I'll listen to you when it's for real, okay? Couldn't cross the line. You're my friend. No one else. No one else is worth you. You're the most important person. We've been through too much. I won't ever go back or throw everything we've got away. You know that, right? I'm sorry I'm acting like I forgot. Mercury, hey, say something. You idiot. Give me a minute. Damn it. I was gonna act like I tricked you. It's going to get to feel smug, making you think everything was serious, and it's going to lord it over you. I'm crying, asshole. Sorry about me. Love you too. Don't worry. Okay. So most of Saturn's character would risk dying. But we did just promise. So let's actually try to do the hiding and not engaging. That's right. Mercury was. We should have gone fighting. Never mind. I don't think I can go back now. I chose wrong. Oh well, we'll see what this side is. It's winter on the near side of the moon, which means it'll be a half month before the hemisphere sees day again. Frosted forest was spring week, summer the week after, and fall a week after that. Year of seasons is a month-long day. Even terraformed could humans live like that. On their side, though, at least the Earth will always be in sky, eternally huge, shining with authority and kindness, unlike an agent in the corner of the sky, like a ring aura. There's nothing extraneous about its shape. It's here to just do two things: look, then kill. When Saturn flew a millimeter too high, the autonomous military unit looked and killed. Just too slow, and then Lunaterra pushed her away. Dragging both deep winter forest, the unit looks twice as hard. It's been encouraged not to miss twice. Good to know about picking the other option on the other routes. I won't be able to do the other options today, but I will be definitely checking out the other options on my own, or if there's demand on a future stream. But I am booked for the rest of the month, for the most part, so it would have to be next month sometime if I do a future stream of this. Shh, don't make a sound. You're being too noisy. I get that a lot, but this time I'm not making any noise. Don't tell me to be quiet. I don't want I'm flitting all over the place. I'm listening for gravity. Vibrations are not the kind of noise they care about. Keep moving and don't make noise in your heart. Don't make a sound in all possible senses. Don't make a sound physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Calm down. I don't like it if you're not calm. First of all, that makes no sense. Secondly, I refuse. I don't think you should die, so think of something else to do instead, because they can kill you. Unlike me or any ship self, so think about as little as you can, okay? Keep your tidal reactor's output to a minimum. Helps make yourself be like an object. Be a thing that others happen, rather than an agent. That's what it's looking for, agency. So it can make it cease immediately. You know, I'm absolutely super good at that. I have a lot of experience with it. So I'm absolutely not going to. Well, me too. That's why I suggested it. You're right, I shouldn't have suggested it like that. How about this instead? Start by thinking about Earth. The autonomous device becomes visible instantaneously. It doesn't look like any ship self and bears no resemblance to human shape because there's no intention for its design to accommodate humans. It's the opposite of what it does. It's nothing to express, only a function to perform. What did I do? I thought too hard about Earth, but shh, much all the same. It's so creepy. It's supposed to represent Earth. It doesn't even look like humans made it. Really? I think it's rather appropriate that it doesn't look human at all. You can detect an artificial gravity reactor, but they don't really know what to do unless they can lock a target and kill it. So if we can't verify what it is, it won't do anything. It feels so heavy suddenly. What is this? I'm telling you, that's the Earth. Real gravity. It's very, very heavy. You can feel its authority and its gulf between us and a planet. I know that. I guess it feels really different to feel it in person. You saying a way to avoid it? Do you remember being a normal kid, even for a little bit? Do you remember the last time you acted convincingly like one? Obviously, I was a really good kid, you know. It's checking your gravity against a script. It thinks, sorry, it doesn't think. It checks that variance. Aren't I pretty excessively varied by now? Just wait there a second. It's hard to teach on the spot. Not that I don't know the idea. Why are you so good at it? It sounds like you kind of hate that I am. I promise I wouldn't die, but I'm mad I have to do this. The chair crawls slowly through the frostbitten green crater to where Saturn is curled among the cold desert junipers. The dark, barely perceptible dot monitors them in the pale earthlight, so precisely waiting. It's easier to hide if their ship selves are turned off, or as close that the ship self could be, so they climb outside to the cold lunar winter to wait. I'm here. Are you doing okay? No, obviously, I'm scared. Me too, so forget what I said. I hate doing that too. You warm, laying there? You're not warm at all, but at least your boobs are soft. The autonomous unit doesn't like flirting, huh? I think I should instead worry about how you're keeping a secret, keeping it really close, waiting for the perfect moment and no one else can ever know. Okay, I can do that. That's not as bad. Is it that big of a difference? There's an infinite difference between someday and never. I'm extremely forgotten how to be patient, but I know the difference. You're right. It really is important to never forget. It's still not going away. Yeah, that's a lot more patient than us, huh? It's looking at you too. Aren't you on their side? Just because we want Earth back doesn't mean Earth wants us back. So Memorial Foundation really is that stupid? Maybe. But in eyes, we're as bad as you. So I go back. Because fuck them. They don't want anything to do with us. Memorial Foundation thinks it's optimal for humanity to return. I think many humans think it would be fine if we just died. It just makes me want to come back to Earth even more. Ah, spite I can understand. I can be petty too. I'm back, even if only for spite. We will bring them back a little taste of what it's like to be us. They're afraid we might bring something back with us. They should be, much more than they already are. That's what I want. Knowing you're just as petulant and petty as me. This is weak too. Makes me reconsider you. In a good way. It's wonderful. Maybe it makes me want to fall in love. Oh. Huh. I said maybe. Don't get full of yourself. Sorry. There's no way we're getting any more than half of what we want, at best. I'm only hoping for half of what you want, so I wonder if you'll even get that. If you get it. I don't expect things to go my way, but, you know, you're coming along wherever it is. I'm sure that you know, LT, wherever we may go, we're going together. In this cosmic glow, we're going wherever we're finding together. I love you. Get used to me now. You made me go upside down on purpose again. I'm so good at evasion, but scoring a direct hit is so easy. You win. It'd be nice to see the end of every world, but this one alongside you. See, the machine's already bored. Or not bored, uncomprehending. But then it lost interest. But I'll stay here with you until it leaves for good. Because flight or fight, pretty petty bitch to petty bitch, lab rat to upperclassman brat. Huh, what, really? Do you maybe love me too? Epidus. What is this, Saturn? The bad ending. For you. You did this? Aw, I'm blushing. I didn't think you'd let me take credit. Still all ears, though. Go ahead and tell me about how I don't know what I'm doing. How I can't possibly understand the consequences. It was a little bit of an accident, honestly. But it's not like I didn't understand what I was doing. All along, I didn't have any loyalty. But you thought you could trick me into doing what you wanted anyway. So should you really be surprised things turned out this way? You knew it was a possibility, right? You know, don't you, that this ending will be infinitely worse for you than it will for me. Splitting of humanity, very well. That's a little concern of you. What comes next will be true war, and that will be insurmountable. If humanity can't be reconciled, the enemy cannot be banished. It will be cut out like cancer. You know, I'm not really an optimist. I don't really have any of that hope for the future. But you know, you were betting on me being spiteful enough to throw away humanity completely. You can bet I'm spiteful enough to prove you wrong. And the world you despise could be real. The Cradle Grace's fleet is small and weak. They're desperate. With the dream of space dying, there's no time left. No chances left. The decision's already been made. Humans don't need space. One thing to go home, another leave forever. Both of these are just up to those of us in space. Neither of those require the strength to pull humanity from the cradle. It's the strength that no one has, and no one should ever pretend they have the strength for it. With all of Cradle's graces, hopes, and dreams, Pluto will still try. Pilots bow as the conclusion of the conflict becomes evident. No, it is now, truly, a war of autonomous military have been triggered against her for transgression. It's no longer a fight between humans and space, but a war with the Earth. Autonomous units ready their weapons. As Unisys, they fire to kill. As if. The director is bent away from Pluto, blushing at the sight of her. They refuse to meet her gaze, as expected. Proud Macula will convert the gravity well directly into space and time, culture necessary for the future. They will steal that future from piece by piece by piece. Unexpected, but not unprepared for. So, Wave 2. Wave 3. Wave 4. Wave 10. Wave 36. Wave 150. Wave 460. Wave 1000. Wave 4069. They know she's not invincible. They know her real truth, and no one who loves her can see. They have patience and power to take it apart piece by piece. They will strip her down atom by atom if they have to, until she loses mass and gravity and becomes only a girl again. Pluto wouldn't mind if they were trying to kill her, but they have much more important thing to kill. Handle Grace's future. Future humanity as we know depends on it. For that, they'll annihilate hers without hate. And only human efficiency and uncomplicated things in mind. Join us or leave us. Only through the timeless proxy can Earth give up on the accessible energy of human soul. Only through a proxy can Earth diverse itself from the longing that Moral Foundation had fought on its behalf of, to value their own life above all. They will do anything, everything to protect themselves from death, especially their own hands. Ships selves can only change others, never kill. But that is the fear of Earth above all else. Yeah, I'm digging the background, Tarek. Flawed, pathetic consequence of humanity, catching up to it as its own mistakes, doing more harm than good. So heavy even Pluto can't bear it. Can she not respond to their pathetic self-destructive feelings? How could she say no when they need her so much? She can't. Acceleration tearing through space-time, crashing through the autonomous units in impossible speeds. Solid light, white and gold, bent and bleeding lance. Lunaterra understands. Over many years, after much training and teaching, with dynamic technology. How to speak the word no. Her spirit can write it. And it does. Sorry. You really should be. You really don't have any mercy. You really need to learn how to hold other people's feelings. I'm sorry for not knowing a better way to do it. I'm not sorry for doing it. I don't care how they feel, I just care about you. Autonomous units fall into disarray. They don't know how to match her speed. Lunaterra rejects her attempts to comprehend her. You're the worst. But what am I going to do with you? I didn't want you to do that. Sorry, I did what I wanted to. You do the same for me. Even in my foolish future. They can pull on her empathy for Earth. They can also tug her desire to be free. Celestial mechanics has so many ways. This one is called Diversion Impulse. Aptus despises fighting. He never wanted to develop the ship selves. He prefer a simpler, less vulgar solution that doesn't require bodies at all of any kind. It's the first portrayal of celestial mechanics' dream for the kind of body, but he understands it, because everyone can understand the dream of these bodies. That was the name he gave to the instinct that drives humanity to bend what is for what could be. The inside-out impulse. There's still time for his masterwork. Pluto could be the linchpin that's just pushed far enough. Gravity Well's Schwarzschild radius expands to the point where it cannot expand. Past the limit at which point humans can no longer exchange information. It's the limit at which it becomes impossible to regard each other as human. Ephesus loves win-win scenarios. Humanity's discarded children will be free of their obligations to be human. Humanity will have a physical, a verified enemy to chase through the pursuit of space. And Ephesus will have sown the seeds of a single binding on unified culture theory. A white void that will bend the universe to a single set of physical laws. A simple process, automated drones, interjecting generators mass into the gravity well is all is necessary, as long as Ephesus holds Pluto's off personally with his Recavant's Terra. It's a plan for Saturn, should she choose just this moment to betray him. A perfect plan. Like deactivating my access permissions remotely through a back door? Overwhelming me with a mass production string of Pearl series? Averting my gravity reactor through the right requirements to choose a better reception decision? Yep, we are going Ava. Oh, even more plans than that? You're really so predictable. What tempting backdoor access to ship shelf string of pearls. Of course, you'd have a solution for every contingency. Enable to fill in string of arrows series 00. Actually, switch activated on max production string of arrows series 1 through 13. This is stupid. You don't have to outsmart every single one of your genius ideas. Sortie orders are fielded for string of pro series 1 through 13. Reckless terrorists designed as their primary target. One of them should be more than enough. I really thought you deserved their full attention. Hey Pluto, unlike LT, not even the slightest bit sorry. It's extremely dumb to fight for a stupid future all by yourself. So, thank me from the bottom of your heart for coming to believe in it with you. Praise me for obeying whatever you asked me to do, or never asked me to do. Love me for believing in you. Of course! I really, really do. All my love and thanks and praises for you. I won't even pretend to be mad at you. Not like Lunaterra then? I am still connected. We know. We know. Back to the topic at hand. It's the final battle, Lunaterra. There's no room for retreat. Oh, so bad for her. I really should. I think the end of the world is enough to get an excuse change on the subject. Yep, just a little playful bullying. It should be. It won't be the end of the world. Every well is open, but not sustainable for long. Whatever you're planning, you need to do it soon. You're both so precious to me. You should know that even together, you cannot stop me. Hey, don't just ... fucking ... I thought you were going to convince her. I have to do this because I believe in it too. Dr. Nix was willing to sacrifice the Earth. I am not. No matter what it costs. Candle's Graces never wanted independence for space. They wanted all humans to embrace it. Pollution destabilizes the Earth's gravitational field, so human life is no longer possible there. Force adaptation to space. Saving humanity against their own will, maybe, and destroying yourself in the process. No way. Nix doesn't know what she's talking about. You're throwing yourself away in a dream that won't come true. You're chiding me for not going into my own future? Possibility lines have closed. There's no chance of a good future since before we started. It's too sad. I have to stand with Dr. Nix's dream. He deserves some kind of real hope. As close as I can offer her. Well, how mad will you be at us if we stop you? I'd never be mad at you, even if you could. But for humans to be caught halfway between space and the Earth is the worst of all bad futures. Split us in half, and that will mean war. It's the future of eternal war. True war, not this, where zero-G keeps our bodies immortal and unrestricted. I mean, if we really did declare independence from Earth, wouldn't they see how cool we are and come up anyway? It's their choice, you know. We can't make it for them. That's their problem. But you really put up a fight. For a moment, I almost believed you. I really thought you might be able to stop me. Their Crasium's spine is broken. The string of pearls is subdivided into many components. Its reassembly time is weeks out. Can't blame us for trying. I wouldn't have been able to do anything else. I really hate this. It's time to... The interfere is... broken? Thank God, I thought you missed. You didn't make the shot easy. I can't control the linear gravity event anymore. I don't know what's gonna happen. What can I do? Sorry, we didn't think that far ahead. We just wanted you to decide. Not Dr. Nix. You can't have everything. What is it you really want? I don't know what kind of future we're going to get. I'm not working with much. Anything is fine if it's you. Don't listen to her. Just figure out something that doesn't suck. 3 compress, redivide, expand. The simplest, childish thought cracks Pluto bubbles up within her, and she says it before she can stop herself. I want us to be together forever. It's our beautiful shapes in space, free. I'm glad I managed to hit your favorite ending. With everyone. Of course, it is impossible. Not enough people will believe in it. Earth is the primary body of the system, and the medium point between gravity and its gravity is still deep within the Earth. Yet, they cannot pull us down anymore. That will never happen. We're still in space, and the future is uncertain. We can even sustain it, but... I declare war on Earth. Come get us again, and fight us again. I dare you, I challenge you, to prove it once again. What foolishness. Humanity will happily oblige. Yet, they find out that their autonomous troops are crushed before they can reach us. Humanity will have to fight us again with our terms this time. Fight us like children fight. Again, with the bodies of plastic. Pretend. You want to fight us? You'll have to be like us. Too cynical for an idealistic dream. Too ambitious for a more modest dream. I also think love is a stupid reason to do anything. You should never ditch your own dream to be with someone else. It's just gonna poison you. If you're lucky, it'll poison the other one too, but what I really mean is, doing something for love should be doing something you love. Not hoping love will find its way to what you do, so you can stay in love with someone else. I am, however, stupid. So if this doesn't make sense, don't stop me. but I do think I wouldn't believe in them if I didn't love them. Actually, I wouldn't love them if I didn't believe in them. Believe. And therefore, with that love, go ahead and let them try. I'm on the side of the alien. I'll always argue for that. I think that'll keep them honest. I mean, I can't say I don't want to believe. Keep convincing me, and I'll stick around. Make the future worth it for me. There might still be more today. Let's bet against that. I'm tired. You'll catch us off guard. So stay in your ship stuff. You want to laze around still in your ship stuff? Why not? Does it feel as nice? It's different, but it's better. You can't feel anything. You still got a lot to learn, Ace. Maybe I do. Let Pluto teach you. I'm taking a nap. Nah, you're helping. I'm tired. Shut up. So she says, but when she stretches out on the yellow-red carpet of Venus's jungles, she doesn't go instantly to sleep. There's room for both of them on Pluto's lab, which is an advantage of living in your ship self. You do things that you normally couldn't, even if other things are harder. Harder doesn't mean impossible. It just means you have to work for it, to figure out how to make it real, learning a new language that new body speaks. Moments like these are rare. Since we began a war against Earth, we were quick to remind each other it's not really a war, the way that it used to be. Not the hard clash of steel and lead, but the pain and pressure of plastic and light. Venus's heat melts their metal before they can make it there. Earth wants to fight, to send softer bodies after us. The punishment we deserved for being unable to reconcile is this half-real solar system. Forests are still struggling on Mars, but we're trying hard, and the jungles of Venus are growing so nicely, except they're too wild to give us room. The delicate mosses that grow the rings of Saturn allow for very fragile, delicate sort of life. We love these places anyway. They're becoming more and more like home. All we need are more of us. And they become descending in the ways, trying to take us back. We beat them back every time, and sometimes one or two look around and decide, I'd rather stay here. And then there's more of us. Sometimes they succeed and take one of us back home. That's just as fine with us. We should go. We wish. We live as we wish. And if our sisters get taken home, bring a small part of us back to the Earth. That can't go unchanged. Like Pluto always said, this future no one wanted is the only future that leads somewhere. A future she couldn't hold, and still can't hold. She doesn't need to. We're all holding it with her. We're holding it together, all together, so we can hold this future. Earth isn't ready to accept us, and we're not ready to forgive Earth. That's okay. You don't have to be. Let's just fight about it. Let's fuck it over. Let's break up and get back together again with it. If we lose it on the terms we're set, and that proves our point. So, haha, we win. If you hate that logic and think it's stupid, come over here and mess me up about it. It does feel very Saturn. Come here and make out with me about it. And now we have the credits. So yeah, that was a fun one to go through. That was a lot of text to read, but enjoyable text. Like, I've done some of the other narrative games, and I've obviously read plenty, but this one in particular had just very large chunks of text at times. So I normally run stream sometime between 4:30 and 5 if I can, Central Time. It's a little early, but as I said, I've been drinking a lot, partially because my voice is getting spent from this one. So I'm going to call this one a little bit early. I'm hoping anyone that stuck around enjoyed Heaven Will Be Mine. As I said, I will be checking out the other runs or pilots at some point, because I definitely want to see the rest of the story stuff. And yeah, splitting it might have been a better idea, but I didn't know what I was getting into, and I got through it. So that was quite enjoyable, though. I'm glad I picked this one up, as I said at the beginning of the stream, and I'll post it again for anyone that is interested. It is currently in the Humble Stories of Pride bundle, and available with a couple other games that also are quite interesting. Like, I'm playing Arcadia something next week. I'm blanking on the name right now. Give me a second. Arcadia Fallen next week. And like, I haven't played a number of them in the bundle, but like World Next Door has been on my list to play forever, and I have played a lot of Monster Camp, which is a lot of fun, especially if you're playing with your friends. So it's a really solid bundle, and one I would recommend if the game interests you. Beyond that, I also mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I should be back again tomorrow at, what is it, 3 Central for Among Us, potentially. Yeah, 3 Central. With some other friends. If someone doesn't show up or anything, we might switch to something else. I'm not 100% sure. We are at the absolute min players for that, so if something happens, that might get changed. But currently, Among Us is the plan for tomorrow at 3. I have very little experience in Among Us. I played a little bit during the pandemic shutdown with a small group of people that knew nothing. I've been watching some Among Us on YouTube from time to time, but aside from that, I will probably be very bad at the game, so it'll probably be a good time just to come and laugh at me playing poorly. But I'm also a decent liar when I need to be, so who knows? With that, I think that's about everything. So I will just say I hope everyone had a great day and will continue to have a great day and stays well. And we are lining up well with Captain Havelock again, who is once again playing Abiotic Factor, which is kind of a Half-Life inspired craft survival game. So we will just raid on over to him again. And hopefully everyone can have fun with him. And yeah, don't have anything else great to say. So have a good one. Do, do, do.